T was a bright day for the whole village because their beloved fourth Hokage had his first child. His name was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The day he was born, all the villagers were cheering. Time skip 4 years later. The 4-year-old boy was running throughout the house finding for his mother and father because today his father told him this was an important day because his godfather was coming today. He was excited that his godfather was the Toad Sannin, but he felt nervous because this was his first time meeting his godfather. He entered the living room and saw a white-haired man who was trying to hide his wrinkles with his hair, but he didn't comment about it. He ran to his mother and father and sat on his father's lap, who was smiling at the antics of his son. Then Minato started, "Naruto, this your godfather Jiraiya. He was on long trip for years because of his mission." Naruto nodded and turned to face his godfather, who grinning at him. Then suddenly he was engulfed in a hug by his godfather. Naruto said in huff-led voice, "You are crushing me." Then Jiraiya heard it and immediately let him out of his grip. He turned to his student and said, "Well, Minato, you got yourself a good son, and me a nice godson." Minato ruffled the back of his hair and said, "Thank you, Sensei Dash," but was cut out when Naruto pointed at Jiraiya and, "I heard you are strong, so please train me. My mother and father told me that I was too young to train." Naruto hit at his head by Kushina, and she said, "Naruto, I told you are not getting any training until you are 6. Jiraiya laughed at the antics of mother and son, then he said, "While I can't train you right now, but I can give scroll on how to unlock your chakra and chakra control exercises." Then he was engulfed by a hug by his godson and he patted on his head. "I can do this much because I missed your 4 birthdays." Naruto was too excited to unlock his chakra, so he asked his father's help to unlock his chakra. His dad responded, "Gomen Naruto, I have a lot of paperwork," and left. Naruto pouted, but he did not ask his mother because he knows that if he asked his mother for help then she would be mad, and he have seen in his father face was full of fear, so he no not mess with her and obey her orders. Naruto sneakily walked out of his home and ran outside, but he bumped into Lord Third, but he loved to call him Gigi. Hiruzen stretched his hand to lift Naruto off ground. Then he asked, "Where are you going, Naruto?" Naruto smiled at the old man and said, "Gigi, I was going to an open field to unlock my chakra," he said with a grin. Hiruzen raised his eyebrow and asked Naruto, "Where are your parents? I don't see them." Naruto scratched the back of his head and said, "Dad had a lot of paperwork to do and my mother told me she will help me train when I am 6. Hiruzen then chuckled and said that he can help unlock his chakra. Then his Gigi gripped his shoulder and shunshined and went to a normal training ground. When he reached it, he turned towards his Gigi and said, "Wow! Gigi, you are so awesome. When I unlock my chakra, can you teach me?" Hiruzen chuckled and said, "Naruto, you are too young, but when you get older I will teach it to you." Naruto pouted, but it quickly faded away and opened the scroll that his godfather have give him and started to read it. After a few minutes he sat at meditative position and started to focus. He felt a pull in his stomach. He tried to pull it out, but it was very hard for his body. Then Naruto thought that it is his body so he can order it loosen it. Then a burst of chakra came out of Naruto. It was so dense and large that ground beneath him crack a little. Hiruzen's eyes widened. He watched his pseudo grandson. He compared this chakra with his sensei Hashirama. Then it died down and Naruto stand there panting. He fall on his butt and he drifted in sleep. Time skip 1 later. It was 5 a.m. and a certain blonde opened his eyes and his eyes traveled to alarm clock beside his reading table. He looked at the ceiling of his room and remembered what his mother and father had told him yesterday. Flashback. "Naruto, we have something to tell you. Come down fast." His mother voice came from downstairs. When he get down, he saw his mother and father smiling at each other. Their gaze then shifted towards their child and smiled brightly at him. "Naruto, we got a good news today from the hospital." Naruto nodded and allowing father to continue. "The good news is that you're going to be a big brother." Naruto was happy at this information and he was jumping around back and forth. Then stopped and looked at his father and told, "I will make sure that I am strong enough to protect my younger siblings and precious person," with a voice filled with determination. End of the flashback. He got out of the bed and headed towards his bathroom and took a good nice shower of 20 minutes. He then put on his clothes, which was a black jacket which was opened, which had blue strips on it and a fishnet shirt beneath it. His pants were normal Anbu pants. Then he grinned at the mirror and took of his room's window, but not before he make a shadow clone, and then took of to the Sarutobi compound to continue his training. Flashback. when Naruto unlocked his chakra and fell into sleep. Hiruzen then quickly shook head to get rid of his thoughts right now. He then picked up Naruto and placed him under the shed of the tree and began to wait for Naruto to wake up. After 30 minutes, Naruto began to wake up and check his surroundings. He was not in home, but then all of the memories came back. He looked to find his Gigi. He found him sitting above on tree branch. Hiruzen then jumped out of the tree and landed gracefully. He then handed a leaf to Naruto. Look at him confusingly. Hiruzen began to speak. Congratulations Naruto on unlocking your chakra, but the difficult part comes now. Then Hiruzen pressed the leaf at his forehead. Then Naruto looked in awe as he looked at the leaf which is not falling of the old man. Then Hiruzen spoke, Naruto, you have to master your chakra control exercise. Chakra control is the most important thing to every ninja. If can't master your chakra, you pretty much cannot use any jutsu. Naruto nodded and he fist pumped at the air and he shouted, I will master the chakra control exercise in no time. Hiruzen chuckled at this and then pointed towards the leaf that Naruto had. Naruto began to control his chakra. It him 6 tries and at the 7th try he mastered it. Hiruzen was shocked at first but then turned it into a smile. He looked at the blonde boy running through the field with leaf still stick to his head. After that day Hiruzen took Naruto to master his chakra control. It took 3 months to master all the chakra control. Hiruzen looked at his grandson proudly, and he made his decision to train Naruto to be strong, so thrice a week, he would bring Naruto to the Sarutobi compound and began to teach him Shuriken Jutsu and basic techniques of academy. It took 3 months to master Shuriken Jutsu and 3 months to master all the jutsu of the academy. It took this much time to master because he wanted no hand seals to do this jutsu. He was also stuck at clone jutsu for half a month because he could not do it, so Hiruzen taught him shadow clone jutsu. It took half a month to completely master the jutsu without hand signs. After that Naruto began to learn calligraphy because he heard it from his Gigi that his mother and father are best at fuinjutsu and he have to start with this. He took interest in it, so he began to his training. While his parents would not even care to look for him because his father was busy with his paperwork and his mother would spend her time with friends. End of the flashback. He was going to the compound to meet his Gigi because he told Naruto that he would his taijutsu training. He was exhausted. T was October 10th. Today was the day that everyone waited for because their beloved 4th Hokage was going to have twins. But they didn't know that today most of the people were going to lose their loved ones. At an unknown location, screams of a woman could be heard throughout the cave. This woman was none other than Kushina. She was delivering her twins. Then a cry of 2 baby could be heard. Their names were Menma Uzumaki Namikaze and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Then it was intertwined by a masked man who killed the 3rd Hokage wife Buwako Sarutobi. He took the Hokage twins and he said in monotone voice, 4th Hokage, step away from the Jinchuriki, and I might let your twins live. Minato stepped away from Kushina, but the masked man threw the child upwards and ready to stab him. Minato saved Menma and Naruto and flash away. After some time there was a big 9-tailed fox causing havoc in the village. Naruto was watching this from his bedroom, then suddenly his father flashed into the room and said, Naruto, we need your help. Your mother is in too much pain to hold the Kyuubi back and your siblings are too young to hold back the beast. So I decided you have make sacrifice for the village. Minato said in a sad voice because he knows after today the village would hate the fox and its Jinchuriki. But it have to be done. Naruto was now standing in front of the fox and staring at him. Then he noticed the fox struggling to move its body. After some time it stopped because of his mother's chakra chains. Then Minato used a normal yet powerful seal to seal the fox inside his eldest son. It growled and struggled, but all in vain as he was sealed inside Naruto. Naruto passed out from the pain he felt from Kurama being sealed inside of him. It was October 10th. Today was the day that everyone waited for because their beloved 4th Hokage was going to have twins. But they didn't know that today most of the people were going to lose their loved ones. At an unknown location, screams of a woman could be heard throughout the cave. This woman was none other than Kushina. She was delivering her twins. Then a cry of 2 baby could be heard. Their names were Menma Uzumaki Namikaze and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Then it was intertwined by a masked man who killed the 3rd Hokage wife Buwako Sarutobi. He took the Hokage twins and he said in monotone voice, 4th Hokage, step away from the Jinchuriki, and I might let your twins live. Minato stepped away from Kushina, but the masked man threw the child upwards and ready to stab him. Minato saved Menma and Naruto and Flash awayed. After some time, there was a big nine-tailed fox causing havoc in the village. Naruto was watching this from his bedroom, then suddenly his father flashed into the room and said, "Naruto, we need your help. Your mother is in too much pain to hold the Kyuubi back, and your siblings are too young to hold back the beast. So I decided you have make sacrifice for the village." Minato said in a sad voice because he knows after today the village would hate the fox and its Jinchuriki. But it have to be done. Naruto was now standing in front of the fox and staring at him. Then he noticed the fox struggling to move its body. After some time it stopped because of his mother's chakra chains. Then Minato used a normal yet powerful seal to seal the fox inside his eldest son. It growled and struggled, but all in vain as he was sealed inside Naruto. Naruto passed out from the pain he felt from Kurama being sealed inside of him. After the Kyuubi attack, the village took huge blow. Most of their Jonin were killed. At the hospital, Naruto slowly opened his eyes but quickly closed it because of the light in the room, but quickly adjusted to it. He then saw that his Gigi is sitting beside the door. When Hiruzen saw Naruto open his eyes, he quickly rushed to him. Hiruzen asked Naruto, "How is he doing? Are you hurt?" Yada yada. When Naruto got dispatched from the hospital and going back home, he saw a short boy with black t-shirt and gray pants, and at back of shirt Uchiha symbol was engraved on it. He was going to training ground 6. Then Naruto asked Hiruzen that, "Can he come home after some time?" Hiruzen for a few minutes thought but told that he will come back in 1 hour. He accepted and went off to see what that Uchiha is going to do. When he reached there, he saw the boy throwing kunai at the board and he got 9 out of 10. He then suddenly asked Naruto to come out. He asked, "Who are you and why are you watching me?" Naruto said, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and I was watching you because I wanted to see how skilled are you." Itachi Uchiha. After the Kyuubi attack, the village took huge blow. Most of their Jonin were killed. At the hospital, Naruto slowly opened his eyes but quickly closed it because of the light in the room, but quickly adjusted to it. He then saw that his Gigi is sitting beside the door. When Hiruzen saw Naruto open his eyes, he quickly rushed to him. Hiruzen asked Naruto, "How is he doing? Are you hurt?" Yada yada. When Naruto got dispatched from the hospital and going back home, he saw a short boy with black t-shirt and gray pants, and at back of shirt Uchiha symbol was engraved on it. He was going to training ground 6. Then Naruto asked Hiruzen that, "Can he come home after some time?" Hiruzen for a few minutes thought but told that he will come back in 1 hour. He accepted and went off to see what that Uchiha is going to do. When he reached there, he saw the boy throwing kunai at the board and he got 9 out of 10. He then suddenly asked Naruto to come out. He asked, "Who are you and why are you watching me?" Naruto said, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and I was watching you because I wanted to see how skilled are you." Itachi Uchiha. After Naruto met Itachi, they became best friends. Itachi often came to Namikaze's household either by Naruto to train and play or by Mikado to meet Kushina. Namikaze's household. Naruto opened his eyes and turned of his alarm. He got out of the bed and went to the bathroom to take a bath. After that, he wore his usual gear and headed off to academy because today was his first day. After reaching academy, he entered his classroom. He went to an empty seat and sat there. He saw there 2 girls and 2 boys chatting. Their gaze landed on Naruto. They came to him and asked, "You're Naruto, right?" A girl with purple hair asked. Naruto nodded and they asked, "Want to be friends?" "We don't mind more company," the boy said with a sunbon in his mouth. "My name is Gunma Shirunai." He is, pointing at Hey8 Gecko. And she is Yugao Yuzuki, and she is Anko Mitarashi. Gunma stated. Naruto nodded and all started chatting like how would they become a great ninja, how they would do cool flashy moves, and how would they awesome missions, yada yada. Then their homeroom teacher came and began to teach them. The whole day went like that, teaching them about the history of the Konoha. The bell rang and they all left. After that day onwards, Naruto knew that in the academy there was nothing new to teach him because his Gigi has already taught him this, so he always sent a shadow clone to academy and went to the Sarutobi compound to continue his training on his taijutsu with his Gigi. The classroom teacher of the first year was astonished when he watched these 3 students of his class acing everything given to them. That these 3 students were Itachi Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and Yugao Yuzuki. After watching this, the teacher realized that these 3 are prodigy, so the academy teacher went to the 4th Hokage and requested him to let these 3 take the genin exams. The fourth thought for a bit and looked at the reports of Itachi, Naruto and Yugao, then he agreed. The instructor bowed and left. The next day Naruto, Itachi, and Yugao got the news that they are allowed to take the Jonin exams another day. They were excited was an understatement. The next day when they reached the academy they began their Jonin exams. First was the shuriken and kunai throwing, and both Naruto and Itachi got 10 out of 10. Yugao got 9 out of 10. At taijutsu sparring it was Naruto was paired with Itachi. Naruto got on his fox fist stances and Itachi got on his inceptor fist stances. Naruto throw a punch at Itachi torso but he sidestepped it. He counter-attack with his legs going at Naruto's forehead but he blocked it. They both went at it but Naruto got an opening and he used it to pin Itachi to the ground. Itachi gave up and Naruto got the victory. Yugao was paired with a teacher because there's no one else to take the exams, but the Chunin went a little easy on her, but she was good at it. Then at the ninjutsu test first was clones and Itachi made 3 normal clones, Yugao made 2 normal clones and Naruto made 4 shadow clones. The academy teacher was shocked but he shook his head and told them to do the substitution jutsu. Naruto, Itachi and Yugao did it with ease. Then they did the transformation jutsu and Itachi transformed into his father. Yugao transformed into 4th Hokage and Naruto transformed into his mother. They all got their headband easily and wore it around their forehead with pride. They went outside the academy and Naruto watched that Itachi's family and Yugao's father and grandfather was there to congratulate them. Naruto was a little heartbroken because his parents never came to him to congratulate him for passing the exams, but he thought that his father was busy with paperwork and his mother with his 2 younger siblings. After that Itachi family went away and Yugao's family and me went to the barbecue restaurant to celebrate for passing their Jonin exams. The next day the 3 new Jonins reached academy roof to meet their sensei. They got there at 8:30 and their sensei got 5 minutes after. They all sat at the stairs and their sensei sat at the railing and he started, "Hello, I am your Jonin sensei Shikaku Nara. Tell me your name, likes, dislikes, hobbies and dream." Shikaku, now named Jonin sensei, said, "Sensei, can you show us how to do it?" asked Yugao. Shikaku muttered troublesome and started, "My name is Shikaku Nara. My likes are sleeping and watching clouds. My dislike are troublesome women's." Yugao, I was twitching and Itachi and Naruto began lag out loud. Shikaku continued, "My hobbies are my likes and my dream. I have not thought of it. Now you purple." "My name is Yugao Yuzuki, not purple. My likes are my friends, my family, and training. My dislikes are rapists and perverts. My hobbies are enjoying my time with my friends and training, and my dream is to become a Anbu head captain." Yugao ended. Shikaku nodded and motioned Itachi to continue. He nodded and started, "My name is Itachi Uchiha. My likes are tomato, my friends and family and training. My dislikes are rapist perverts and my hobbies are spending my time with my friends and family and training. My dream, I have not thought about it." Itachi ended. Shikaku nodded again and motioned Naruto to start. Naruto started, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. My likes are my friends, my family and training. My dislikes are rapists and perverts. My hobbies are same as Itachi and my dream is to become the strongest ninja in the whole ninja world." Naruto ended, but Shikaku said, "It's a pretty big goal. You have to work a lot hard to achieve it." Naruto nodded. Shikaku started again. "Originally there would be a test to determine if you all would be a Jonin team, but I am too lazy for it, so I will see your skills and take 2 of you. Another one will go back to Academy Dash." He was cut off by Yugao. "You can't do that. We have to be take a test, not this. I cannot leave my friends behind me for my selfish reasons. Sorry, sensei, but I will like to go back to the academy and wait for the right sensei." Yugao said, "Means less work for me." Shikaku shrugged and Yugao started to walk towards the exit, but stopped when she heard both Naruto and Itachi said, "Stop!" While Shikaku Yugao were talking, both Itachi and Naruto was listening with closed eyes. Both Itachi and Naruto opened their eyes and stared at Shikaku and both said in unison, "We also can't leave our friend and teammate behind." After they also started to go towards the exit, but was stopped again when they heard Shikaku said, "Stop, you all pass." The 3 of them turned and stared at Shikaku with confused eyes and got back to their seats. As you know, Konoha is the strongest shinobi village because its priorities are teamwork. That is why they are at the top, so there is a test for new Jonin teams to see if they would work as a team and you all passed it. Now you're officially Team 7. Tomorrow we will start our first mission, so be at the Hokage Tower at 8 a.m. Don't be late," he said and puffed out of there. The 3 Jonins groaned and went back to their homes. Flashback. When Naruto was 6 and training with Kakashi Senpai in forest. Naruto was versing Kakashi in a taijutsu battle when Kakashi hit him with enough force to push him through a tree and knock him unconscious. Kakashi was scratching the back of his head and chuckling nervously. He then picked up Naruto and body flickered to the hospital to check if he is hurt. Meanwhile, in Naruto's Mindscape, Naruto opened his eyes slowly and checked his surroundings and saw he was in some sewer. He is thinking, how did he get here? Last he remember he was sparring with Kakashi-senpai. He shook his head and started to walk towards the path that was there. He was hoping to find an exit but ended up on a big room which had a cage, and on the bars there was a page on it was written seal. Naruto was confused as for where he was. Then two giant red eyes opened behind the cage and a warm breath sacked the cage and reached Naruto, and the thing started to speak. So finally my jailer have come here to visit me, though I was thinking you would come here when you were older, said the voice, and it finally revealed itself to be the Kyuubi the Kitsune. Naruto connected the dots S&D. He understood that he is in his Mindscape and the Kyuubi was sealed in him. Naruto was a little scared, but he didn't show it and stared at the fox and asked, "The people say the tailed beast are mindless monster, but if you can speak then you must have a mind, so tell me Kyuubi, why did you attack the village? Is it because the first Hokage captured you? Or is it that you were sealed in her wife and my mother?" Kyuubi growled a little and started, "I am not obliged to tell you anything, but I will tell you in ways. I did not attack the village at my own will. There was a masked man and he had that damned eye the Sharingan, and he pulled me out of your mother and put me under a genjutsu and told me to attack the village. By the time I regained my consciousness I was being sealed inside you." Kyuubi ended and Naruto nodded at the story. "Okay, I understand you. I know that you're a being made out the chakra, that is why you cannot be killed, so how did you came to this planet?" Naruto asked the Kyuubi, and it was surprised but said, "I will not tell you anything about how came here, you have to earn my trust to get the answer," it stated. Naruto nodded and asked another question. "If you can speak, and you have a mind, and however you came to this planet, you must lived have through centuries, so let me ask you, do you have a name?" Kyuubi was dumbfounded at this boy who is 6 years old is asking these questions. This was the first human to ask his name and how he came here. Kyuubi started, although he was still shocked, "You're the first ever human to ask this question. I may ask, why did you think that I may have a name?" It asked, and Naruto answered it by saying, "I can see you have a mind and you lived through the centuries, and you must know that everything that can talk have a name. That is why I asked you, or you like to be called Kyuubi." Kyuubi nodded and started, "I have a name and I don't like being called Kyuubi. Originally I would never ever give my name to a human, but you're the only human who asked my nane, and how was I made so, but I will oblige it for. Now, my name is Kurama and I was made by Hagoromo Otsutsuki, also known as Sage of the Six Paths. I was made from a being called Ten Tails. I will tell you a story about it. Many centuries ago there came a meteor from somewhere. In that meteor was a lady named Kaguya Otsutsuki. She came at a time where the humanity was always at war. She was fed up with this and she heard there was a very big tree also known as God Tree. It was rumors that there was a fruit being made, and if any eats that can become God. After hearing that, she headed there and reached there and ate the fruit. The fruit was also known as chakra fruit. After she ate it she got the powers of the god, and she got all bloodlines in the world and ended the war single-handedly. After that she was known as the rabbit goddess, and she too child Hagoromo and Himura Otsutsuki. While they were growing up, the god tree became a monster with 10 tails behind it. It was causing destruction, searching for Kaguya as she ate his chakra fruit. After seeing this, Hagoromo and Himura decided that they would stop this. After defeating the 10 tails, Hagoromo decided to split it 9 parts, which was us the Bijus. There left was a statue bigger than me. It was the ghetto statue. If it absorbed us Bijus, it would reawaken the 10 tails, and Hagoromo and Himura knew it, so Hagoromo sealed it in the summoning realm, and it can only be summoned by Rinnegan. The left chakra was disturbed to the world, and this how chakra came to be. Kurama ended. Naruto nodded. He understood all the things, though he was tired. After that Naruto asked, "That's great Kurama, I am feeling tired, so I will go by." He was cut off by Kurama saying that he needs to fist bump with him to talk with him anytime without coming to Mindscape. Plus I have to give 3 things. The first 2 are from me, but the third one is from you, but I am unlocking it for you. It is the Mokuton. The other 2 you have to figure out yourself. Naruto was dumbfounded that he had first Hokage's Mokuton ability, but quickly bumped fist with Kurama and left saying goodbye. While Naruto was talking with Kurama, Kakashi took him to the hospital to check if he was okay. After some minor tests, the result was that he is just unconscious. Then Kakashi took him to his sensei's house and took him to his room from the window because he knew how his sensei and Kushina was neglecting him for Menma and Naruto. He placed him under his covers and body flickered out of there. Back to Naruto. He opened his eyes at his bedroom and asked, "How did I get here? Last I remember is that I was sparring with Kakashi-senpai? Kakashi brought you here after he knocked you unconscious while sparring," said Kurama. Naruto nodded, understanding what Kurama was saying. Then he looked at his wall clock, seeing that it is 9 a.m., so he got up from the bed and did his morning routines and got ready. Then he created a shadow clone and gave him more than enough chakra to last for a few hours. He sent his shadow clone to go at the academy while he go to his GG for his training because his father and mother are busy playing with his younger siblings. Flashback the last week. When he saw his dad make a shadow clone and saw it flash away, he thought that finally today his father was going to train him, but when he asked his dad, he said, "Sorry Naruto, I am busy." Then he saw them playing with his siblings. He felt heartbroken because when he was 4 his dad was always at the Hokage Tower doing paperwork and not playing with him. But he composed himself and told that his dad must have been tired from paperwork and send a shadow clone to do it for today. It was proven wrong when Minato always send a shadow clone once a week to do the pending work for him while he played with his younger siblings. After that, he never ever tried to ask his mother and father. Flashback end. When Naruto reached the Sarutobi compound and saw his GG, he rushed at him and tackled him down while hugging him while sniffling. Hiruzen patted his head and asked, "What happened, Naruto?" Naruto then told him how his parents are neglecting him and his training and playing with his siblings almost every day. Hiruzen was mad but didn't show it. Then he said, "I can train, but it's going to be difficult for your age." Then he saw the determination in Naruto's eyes. But then Hiruzen asked Naruto, "Why are you not at the academy? It is also important." Naruto rubbed the back of his head and chuckled nervously and said, "GG, the academy was boring, and all the things they were teaching I know it already, but I sent a shadow clone there because when it pops I receive the memories." Hiruzen nodded at this and smiled at Naruto for figuring out the secret of shadow clones. "Then it is decided you will come tomorrow here at 5 a.m., and we will begin your training." Naruto nodded and left the compound. Next day. Naruto reached the compound and saw his GG at the training field of the compound. He was in battle gear. Hiruzen saw him and started, "Naruto, from now on you will call me sensei," came in a loud and stern voice. Naruto nodded, then he continued, "From now on your training regimen for half a month is doing 5 rounds around the Konoha, then 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. Then I will check your elements and give you ninjutsu according to that. Is that clear?" "Hi FNFA. Before you start you wear these weights of 25 pounds in each limbs every day, then start." After wearing the weights, Naruto could not run or move around, but he still did all the things his sensei told. It took him 2 hours to do it. After that, he took 15 minutes break and his sensei came to him with a chakra paper in hand. "Naruto, this is chakra paper. It shows your affinities. You have to pour your chakra to see the affinities. Usually many shinobi have only one chakra nature, but some shinobi have more than one chakra natures, but is extremely rare, but you can use all the natures, but you have to put more effort and chakra to do it. If cut in half you have wind, if it soak then you have water, if it crumbles to dirt you have earth, if it crinkles up then you have lightning, and finally if it burns you have fire. These are the 5 chakra natures." Naruto nodded and took the paper and poured some chakra, and the results made both Hiruzen and Naruto's mind blown. The paper divided into 3 parts, the first soaked up, second crumbled to dirt, and the third crinkled up. Naruto looked in shock but then shouted, "I am the best! I have 4 chakra natures." Hiruzen nodded and smiled and gave him 4 scroll. In each there are different nature ninjutsu. Naruto took the scroll and started reading the first scroll. It was wind style, gale palm. Then Naruto made 10 shadow clones for this and gave them the scroll and told, "You all practice this and dispel one by one." All the clones nodded and took the scroll and moved aside. The second scroll was water style, water bullet. He make again 10 shadow clones and gave them the same instructions. The third was earth style, mud wall. He did the same with making another 10 shadow clones and gave them instructions. The fourth was lightning style, lightning clone. He did the same with clones. Then he sat down and started talking with Kurama for his taijutsu style, and he decided that he will learn the fox fist style. Throughout the year Naruto was doing his physical workout and taijutsu and ninjutsu training. He was doing best at ninjutsu because he had nearly perfect chakra control. He was unsure whether to tell his GG about having Mokuton, but decided against it and told him first. Hiruzen refused it, but when Naruto showed that he bloomed a flower in the palm of his hand he had to believe it. Naruto requested his Gigi to keep this a secret from his father and mother because he wanted to prize them at Chunin exams and make them and the village proud. Hiruzen accepted the request and kept it a secret but gave him scrolls on it because he wanted Naruto to be strong. Naruto learned would style, would clone. He learned it was because it can stay long time ABD could take more damage than a shadow clone. Next is would style, tree wall barrier, would style, 4-pillar prison and last would style, mayfly. He also learned some other jutsu like earth style, headhunter jutsu and earth style, spike terrain. In water style he learned water style, water shuriken and water style, water shield. In wind style he learned wind style, wind bullet and wind style great breakthrough. In lightning style he learned lightning style, lightning bolt and lightning style, lightning magnet. Plus he is working on a jutsu that he created his own. And you might ask how can he learn this many jutsu in a year? The reason is nearly perfect chakra control and shadow clones, so don't ask in the comments why I am making so up. Back to present. The next day when Team 7 met Yugao was rambling about how they would get a assassination or guarding an important person mission. Shikaku was amused seeing that because he knew what was coming. WHHATTTTT? Came the voice from the Hokage Tower. This voice belonged to Yugao. She was devastated at the mission given to them. It was catching a cat, and Shikaku said that they have to D-rank mission for a month or they have to do 100 missions. Naruto patted Yugao on the back and said, "We can do this, Yugao, and I can use shadow clones to do it fast." After hearing this, she was so happy that she was not thinking what she was doing and hugged him tightly. Naruto was stunned and stuttered, Why Yugao WW what or why you doing?" Yugao got back and blushed, "Don't think too much of it." While this was going on, everybody was watching in amusement. Then they got the mission and went out. It took them 15 days to complete 100 D ranks. It was torture for the kids, but they kept saying to themselves, only few days to go and we can escape this torture. The day they finished their 100th D ranked, they immediately went to the Hokage Tower and gave him report and asked for a C rank because they can't get higher missions unless they are Chunins or complete a lot of missions, which they didn't. After checking the report, Minato agreed to give them a C rank, but he said, "Shikaku, you have to stay back the village because we have to discuss about Orochimaru and things, so Team 7 you will have special Jonin to assist you at the C rank. Is it clear?" They nodded, and this is special Jonin like Ebisu, but he not Ebisu, so don't be confused. I will call him Rashi. They all took the scroll and read there is a bandit group near Tanazuka town and they all looting all the merchandiser and traders. They have to stop and kill them, and the rumors are they are abducting some women's. After reading the scroll they were a little angry, but they calmed down and nodded and went to pack things for 2 to 3 week trip. They got their first kill, that is why they are not reacting on the word kill, and here is the story. Flashback. When they were doing their D ranks, Shikaku already knew that they would be fall in depression at their first kill, so he decided that he will take matter in his own hands. When they were going home after completing their D rank for the day, they came back after hearing their sensei calling them back. He handed them 3 baby birds and it looked very cute. He said, "You have to kill the bird or else you would have to D rank for the rest of the year," in a firm tone that left no room for arguing. They were hesitant at first looking at how cute it was, but they heavy-heartedly kill it. Flashback. N Team 7 met at the gate. Rashi saw them and started, "If we do this nicely, we might come back early than usual." With that said, we all set out. We reached towards the usual location that the bandits are looting all the merchandiser and traders. They were passing through the road and Naruto sensed someone in the trees. He threw at one of the men that were there. The man fall down dead when the group of bandits saw this and started to fall back to their base. They chased after them but silently to not to alert them that they are being followed. By the time they reached, it was night time. They saw camp in which there are almost 300 to 350 bandits. Rashi was shocked and said, "This mission just bumped to an A rank mission. According to the village rules we have to go back to the village, but you all are also ninjas, so your opinion matters whether or not you want to continue or not." We all were starting to think, but all got to the conclusion that they were willingly. After that, the next week they were scanning in and out of the camp. The next night they executed their plan. Naruto shadow clone transformed into the man that was guarding the gate and substituted himself. The group killed the guards at the gate like that and they entered the compound. After entering, they silently started killing the bandits and got to the building where the bandits kept the women's. After entering the room, they saw how the women's were locked up in cage and most of their clothes torn. They started from age 7 till 45 or 50. They all were disgusted by the bandits and don't felt pity for killing them. After seeing the group, the women started shouting that won't be their slave anymore, and this alerted the bandits. Rashi thought, shit, they found we're here. I will hold them while they can escort the women's out of here. He told the team the plan. They were hesitant. But seeing the look on Rashi, they were sure that there's no room for argument. They reluctantly nodded, but Naruto said, after the women's are safe, we come for you, sensei. Rashi nodded, and the evacuation began. By the time Team 7 were done and reached the camp, most of the bandits were dead, but who remained they killed them. They were searching for Rashi until they came upon the sight, which shocked them. Rashi was handling himself well but didn't see the attack coming from the back, and he was stabbed from the back at heart. Naruto was rushed at Rashi and killed the man on the way, which killed Rashi. Naruto's eyes started to burn. He was screaming for 2 reasons. First, that Rashi was dead, and second, that his eyes was burning. Then he heard a voice that he recognized as Itachi, and he was saying, behind you! Naruto, what happening? But he held his arm out and said in a low voice, almighty push. After this, the whole bandits that were around was sent back sailing, and were crushed immediately to death. Itachi saw Naruto in surprise and saw something strange. His eyes were no longer blue, it was purple in color and rings in it, and have 1 tomo in each ring of his eye. He guessed that Naruto awakened a new dojutsu but didn't know what was it. But quickly shook that thoughts of and asked Naruto, was he all right? Naruto just nodded and said, although we have completed the mission, we did lost our companion. Let's go back to the camp and rest. Then next day we will return to Konoha. Itachi nodded but asked, Naruto, what happened to your eyes? It is purple and have rings in it. You have a tomo. Naruto was also shocked but said, even I also don't know what it is. We might get our answers when we got back home and give report. Naruto then got up and started to move with Itachi to find Yugao and tell the plan. While this was going on, he was talking with Kurama. He asked, Kurama, what happened to my eyes? Brat, you unlocked your second gift, that is Rinnegan. These eyes are of my father, sage of 6 paths. This a rare dojutsu, and its other name is God Eyes. It have 6 abilities that we will start training on when we reached Konoha. Plus keep it a secret for now because you're very young to handle shinobis. Naruto nodded but asked, if it was a gift, then why it didn't awaken when we met? Plus how could I deactivate it? Every dojutsu is activated when the user go through emotional pain. That is why it activated now. And for the second question, it might work or might not. Stop channeling chakra into your eyes and it might work, or you might have put on a very high jinjutsu. Naruto nodded but hoped that it might deactivate by stop channeling chakra into his eyes because he is weak at jinjutsu. He stopped channeling chakra and it worked. Itachi asked Naruto how did he deactivate it. He told that he will tell him tomorrow. Then they reached Yugao and told them that Rashi is dead and that they have to go Konoha back tomorrow morning and report the Hokage what have happened. Yugao was stunned that in their first C rank they have lost someone but nodded nonetheless. Next day, while they were going back to Konoha, Naruto pulled Itachi aside and told, Itachi, the last day you saw the dojutsu named Rinnegan. I don't know the abilities, but can you please keep it a secret, because it is a new dojutsu and many would kill me or kidnap me for breeding. Plus I will show it when I have mastered it. Itachi nodded at the request but asked, how would you master it? Naruto just smiled but didn't give the answer because he know if he says that Kyuubi is helping him, he would be in big trouble, so he said nothing. They reached Konoha and gave the report to Hokage. It gave Minato headache but didn't said anything to the team and dismissed it. He did that because he knew it would be stressful for the team. The team started to train hard because they don't want anyone from their precious people or comrades to die. Yugao started her training with sensei in Kenjutsu. Itachi got traineed by his father on jutsu because his sensei don't use ninjutsu most of the time. Naruto started to train with Kurama and his Jiji. 1 year time skip. Throughout the year they took most of the mission. They have done 400D ranks, 150C ranks, and 50B ranks. Their team was also called Team Prodigy. Their sensei called them for a meeting saying that it is important for them. They reached the training ground and waited for their sensei. He came and started, this important for you because dash. Cliffhanger no jutsu. This is important for you because we have been selected to protect Demio's son. Be proud because you have been selected to protect him. Shikaku said. The team nodded and proceeded to go to Hokage Tower. When they reached, they were greeted by Minato. They were given the scroll and they nodded. They were given 1 day's time to pack and go. Naruto went back to the Namake's household and saw his godfather have came back. He was talking to Minato about the child of prophecy. The elder great toad said that the child of prophecy shall have ancient powers of the great sage of 6 paths. The child of prophecy would be born and his or her parents would be the yellow flash and the red hot-blooded habanero. It shall bring peace or destroy the world. Minato felt happy because his child would be the one to save the ninja world and ends the cycle of hatred. But also scared that it might destroy the world, and he asked his sensei, "Who do you think this would be, either Menma, Naruto, or Naruto?" Jiraiya said, "Minato, I am sorry to say this, but I don't think Naruto would be the child of prophecy because I don't see the potential in Naruto. Minato, you have to take the risk and believe in the toads. We have to train Menma, and Naruto might come in between the training of the twins. I prefer you give him his own another apartment and say you must grow up maturely." Minato was hesitant at first but nodded none on the less. Naruto was standing behind the door, had heard everything, and his heart sank. He could not believe it that his father and godfather would say this. He silently packed his things while Kurama was comforting him by saying that they do not how strong he is and how they will pay that they ever said that to him. Next day they all went out for the mission. Throughout the route Naruto was silent and was thinking about how he would show his family his strength and they will accept him back. While he was thinking, the other members of the team are irritated and worried. Irritated because the daimyo's son is a brat and is ordering the team to his things like massaging him and playing ridiculous games with him. Worried because usually Naruto would not be thinking so much about something. After some time Naruto was brought out of his thoughts when sensed a large amount of chakra hidden in the trees, and he alerted his team to be on their guard. Then the masked man came out and said, "Oh, you are a sensory type, that's unfortunate. I thought I would do this silently at the time when you will rest. But shall we dance?" The team got ready, but they all noticed a Sharingan through the hole of the masked man, and then they attacked the intruder. Itachi did the hand signs and did the fire style, fireball jutsu. Tobi dodged easily, but Itachi asked, "Who are you?" Tobi said, "It doesn't matter what my name is," and countered the punch from Itachi and with an uppercut sent Itachi flying. Yugao brought out her sword and coated with fire chakra and sent a fire style, dragon slash. It went right through the Tobi and cut 7 trees down. Yugao was shocked that she was unable to block the punch at the gutted and the wind was knocked out of her. Naruto sent a water style, water bullet jutsu, and like Yugao's attack it went right through Tobi. Tobi attempted to sweep Naruto's leg, but he dodged it, and Naruto did a roundhouse kick, but it was for nothing. While Tobi and Naruto was fighting, Shikaku started to plan to defeat the masked man. The masked man did a right sweep, but Naruto dodged it, and suddenly he was sent flying back by a kick from the masked man. Then Tobi froze because of the shadow binding technique from Shikaku, but he smirked under the mask and he swirled out of there. He appeared behind Shikaku and stabbed him through his stomach. "Sensei!" 3 of them shouted, and the masked man proceeded to the daimyo's son while he was screaming. Naruto fought through his pain and stood up and started to run towards the daimyo's son. He pleaded himself to go fast. Then the whole background began to slow down and he noticed that everything is normal with him, but not for long because he tripped and it became normal. Tobi killed the daimyo's son and said, "You all are pathetic. If I were you, I would talk with my sensei one last time before he goes to the afterlife." After saying this, he kamuied out of there. All the team members gathered around their injured sensei and started crying. Itachi now activated his Sharingan because of the trauma. Naruto Rinnegan activated on its own, and there was 4th Tomo began to appear. Then the King of Hell came out of the ground and took Shikaku and put it in his mouth and began to chew. The whole Team 7 was baffled and became angry because something came out of nowhere and took their sensei without listening their sensei's his last words. But then when it opens its mouth again, they as well as Shikaku were shocked seeing their sensei fine. The King of Hell went back in the ground. Naruto heard Kurama saying, "Narula, this Naraka path, also known as the King of Hell, it helps you restore anybody from any state except death. You can gather intel too, but it will kill the person too. It will take a lot stamina to control this path, so I suggest you up your training." Naruto nodded because he can feel it, his consciousness leaving him. Then he passed out. Naruto opened his eyes but closed it after bright light hit his eyes. Then his eyes began to adjust at the light. Then he spotted his team sitting beside the door and waiting for him to wake up. As soon as they saw he was up, everyone rushed to him except Shikaku. He came walking normally and started to ask him how he is feeling and etc. Yugao hugged him in tears but quickly let him go because how embarrassing it was. Then Shikaku asked the main question, Naruto, how did you heal me because I know you don't know medical ninjutsu? Naruto sighed and activated his Rinnegan with 4 tomos and showed it to his team. They all were shocked. Yugao was shocked because she didn't knew that Naruto have dojutsu, and Shikaku was because he knows that Naruto's parents do not possess a dojutsu, and for the tomos because Eihei never seen any dojutsu other than the Sharingan. He was thinking for the possibilities for how Naruto got the dojutsu. Itachi too was shocked because he can see 4 tomo, and last time he saw the eyes it was 1 tomo, and getting 3 more tomo is very hard in a year. Shikaku asked Naruto, do you know what this dojutsu is and how you got it and the powers of it? Naruto nodded and answered, I know what is this dojutsu is, but I don't know how I got it. And he said because how sensitive Kurama part it is. That is why he's saying this. Its power, but I will tell on one condition, that you will not tell anyone. I will reveal when I am ready to show and master its power. They nodded and he started, this dojutsu is known as Rinnegan, as to know how I know its name and powers. My godfather have met with a person who have Rinnegan and have told me the stories. It have many powers, but I don't all of it, but I can describe the powers I have used. They nodded again and he continues, my first power is gravitational manipulation. I can push and pull things. I can fly, but I need more concentration for it. I can increase or decrease weight of any object. Second power is I can summon any summoning animal. Third is I can change my parts of body and shoot rockets from it. And he was showing also all the paths, like pulling flowers from the vase and pushing it. Summoning a cute fox and changing his hand. While the fourth power you saw it, but I can't show it now because it takes a lot out of me. It can heal people and I can gather intel from it. I would have 2 more powers, but still I have to master these powers. They all were baffled that Naruto have so many powers from his Rinnegan. They nodded and left their ways. Itachi went back the Uchiha compound to show his father that he have unlocked his Sharingan. Yugao went home to master her Kenjutsu skills. Shikaku went to research about the new dojutsu. After half-hour, an Anbu came at the hospital and told Naruto that his father have told him to be at the Hokage's tower as soon as you die patch. He nodded and waited. After an hour he was dispatched and he shined out of there to Hokage's tower. He reached and knocked the door. From Anathet's side came a voice said, come in. He entered and saw his mother and father there, and he understood what was going to happen, but he didn't say anything and let his father and mother continue. Hello, Naruto. They both greeted, but he simply nodded. They thought it was a bit rude but shrugged it off. Naruto, we have to say something to Yoyu. We have decided that you have to grow up with experience to be alone. If there is no one else to help you grow, that is why we will give you your own apartment. They said a little bit hesitantly. But to their surprise, Naruto did nothing but said, no problem, I can understand. But inside he was heartbroken, and Kurama said, they do not know value of you, we will show them when the time is right. Naruto took the keys of the apartment and went there to see how big apartment is. And it was same apartment as normal canon. After he checked the apartment, he saw he needed his supplies and food. So he went to buy it, like some vegetables, fruits, etc. and kunai, and while he was going to pay for the kunais, he saw a blade that was dragon head handle and green color inside and Bulkak's teeth. It was like Naruto was pulled towards it. After unsheathing it and seeing its beauty, he understood that this katana was made for him. He tried to add some chakra and it cackled with electricity. Then he bought it and went to his new apartment. By the time he did these things, it was night. He went to the Namake's household to take his things and move it to his new apartment. He opened the door and went upstairs to his bedroom and took his stuff and was coming down, but listened something that it broke every bond that he had with his family. They were saying, Menma and Naruto, we have a good news for you. We have news from your godfather that you too may be the child of prophecy, so we will start your training from another week. After hearing this, twins began to cheer and they all were happy. Naruto said nothing and shined to his apartment and unpacked his things. He went to his bed and cried till he drifted to sleep. The next day when he opened his eyes, he was shocked because he not at the Namake's household, but the memories of the last came back and he realized he is basically abandoned, but inside he knows he was abandoned when his siblings were born, but he didn't said anything to anyone. He got out of the bed and did the normal morning routine. When he was done and went out to the training ground 7 to meet with his teammates and sensei. They all reached at the same time and Shikaku started, hello, I hope you are ready to begin your training for Chunin exams. It would be in next 6 months, so we have to start training now to be prepared. They all nodded and did the physical training, like 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, and 20 rounds around the training grounds, while wearing 30 pounds for Itachi, 25 pounds for Yugao and 40 pounds for Naruto. And he is wearing gravity seals also. At the last chapter he wore it, but he forgot to release because he was thinking. It was difficult for all of them, but they did this nonetheless. They were tired, but after taking rest they started sparring with only taijutsu, and it went on for the next month. In this month Naruto began to train his Rinnegan abilities, like taking less time to push or pull things, decreasing the time to make his body into a Shura path, taking less stamina to use King of Hell, taking less time to summon animals. After the month and after they did their exercise, Shikaku said, "We shall start your ninjutsu training. We will first check your nature's Itachi and Yugao because I don't know yours. Then I would bring scrolls according to that." They nodded, but Naruto said, "Sensei, I would like to do ninjutsu training alone with Gigi so I can have some ace to keep." Shikaku nodded, and he understood it because he would also like to have some ace up his sleeve. Naruto got to the Sarutobi compound and spot his Gigi and got there. He asked his Gigi to help him train for Chunin exams. Hiruzen happily and started. Throughout the months he learned jutsu like water style, water sword. It creates a sharp sword made of solid water in the user's hand. As the user's control improves, he can manipulate the shape and size. Water style, water armor. A thin layer of water covers the user's whole body. At the basic requirements, it gives protection against fire techniques by dampening the effects, as well as nullifying some taijutsu attacks. While the armor is on, it constantly draws out small amounts of both the user's chakra and stamina, and thus can only be kept up for a limited time. Water style, mud ball. A very useful technique used to slow down their opponents. The user spits out a large ball of mud. The mud is kept together with chakra, and when it strikes a hard surface, it hardens, slowing down movement of the person hit or weighing down an item. Once it has turned solid, only a strong person can break it. Earth release, mud river. In this common stone jutsu, the user converts part of the floor ground that he and his opponent are standing on into a raging avalanche of mud and earth. The opponent quickly loses his standing and starts sliding wherever the mud river will take him/her. Earth style, earth holding. This technique allows the user to manipulate the earth below an opponent's feet to rise up and grab hold onto both their legs. The earth is rather durable and can only be physically forced away by taijutsu specialists and human tanks. Earth release, earth element sword. Similarly to earth shuriken, the user picks up dirt/or earth, molds chakra into the dirt/earth, and forms a sword. It isn't as sharp or powerful as a real sword, and is destroyed after a few hits. Wind style. Blade of wind. This technique is a pinpoint slashing strike, where the user emits chakra from their fingertips and materializes it into a near-invisible weapon that assaults the enemy in a gust of wind. Wind style. Wind dragon. The user must have high chakra control it takes of a dragon and attacks the enemy. It is very effective. Lightning style, electric overdose technique. The user takes one post to channel a large amount of electricity into a limb, making the chakra visible. Upon contact with the opponent, the electricity is shot into him and the target's weight almost doubles, making it harder for the victim to move. Lightning release. Lightning magnet. This jutsu creates electrical clouds around the area that attract metal. Any metal projectiles thrown will be altered because of the clouds. This can be dangerous for both parties. Lighting style, flash step. The user gather electricity in feet and disappear and appear where user wants. It is used in short distance. Fire release, dragon fire technique. A jutsu that sends a stream of fire towards the opponent, originating from the user's mouth. In some cases, it has been seen to take on the form of a dragon. Capable of being used like a flamethrower, prolonged exposure has been known to transform boulders and cliffsides into molten piles of magma. Fire release, incinerating hail technique. By focusing their chakra into their hands, the user can then lift them skyward and create a salvo of small fireballs that will rain down all around them, incinerating anything they touch. Since the fireballs have no solid state, they can only do damage by burning things. These fireballs are about half the size of one's closed fist. Fire release, flame spread technique. This jutsu allows the user to extend the flame from their hand to any weapon or item they may be holding. This creates a surrounding layer of flame around the object, but the object is unharmed. This can only extend to a length of 3 feet maximum, or the length of a medium-sized sword. With style, deep forest emergence. It creates a dense growth of trees, controlling how it grows using his chakra. The tree's life force is immense enough to split the earth as they sprout and further pierce through any other obstructions they encounter. This growth is also fast enough that it can capture targets before they have a chance to escape. With style, underground root jutsu. It can manipulate the terrain, bringing out underground roots of varying sizes to fit various offensive situations, such as using the roots for trickery, misdirection, and restriction. One can also use a large-scale version, bringing out massive roots over a larger area that tangle around each other with such force that anyone caught in between is violently crushed to death. For Kenjutsu, he began learning his mother's style as to how he learned that he used with style. Mayfly Jutsu to enter the Namikaze household library, and it had Kushina Kenjutsu style and Rinnegan and Flying Rajin. Though he did not learn Flying Rajin was not same level as his father in Fuinjutsu to try Flying Rajin, and he did not mastered Rinnegan, but he completed the second step. The Chunin Xmas was at Leaf Village, so they do not have to travel anywhere. Team 7 met at the academy entrance. They greeted and Shikaku said, "I am going to say two things that are first, always look underneath, and second, make me proud. You have to go room 301. They nodded and entered. When climbed up the second floor, they saw room 301, but they understood that it was Genjutsu. Yugao was going to say all that it was a Genjutsu, but Naruto stopped her by putting hand on her mouth and said, "Don't say anything, they are weeding out the weak if they can't spot this simple Genjutsu." Yugao nodded, and there were some red tint on her cheeks because Naruto was so close to her, but she would die before she would admit. They went to room 301 and sat at their given places. Then exam proctor came and announced the same rules as canon, and they started their exam. Itachi used his Sharingan and copied the answers from the one who was writing answers without a problem. Yugao naturally knew the answers because she was clever. Naruto activated his Rinnegan and he could see further range, and he copied. Then came the final question, same as canon, and most of the participants left, and there were only 8 teams left. They passed, and the proctor said that they have to reach training ground 44 tomorrow morning. All nodded and left. Itachi said, "We should make formation and plans for the next exam because I have heard that the training ground 44 is dangerous and it have big creatures and etc." They nodded, and Naruto said, "We make the plan at my home." They nodded and left. Naruto started to lead towards his apartment, which was opposite direction from Namikaze's compound, so Itachi noticed and asked, "Naruto, where are we going? Namikaze's compound is behind us?" Naruto turned and faced Itachi and said, "My mother and father have gave me an apartment to grow up alone because they say I have to experience this living without." He said in normal tone, but Itachi and Yugao can see heartbroken eyes. They went to the apartment and made their plans. Next day, they reached the forest of death and saw they were to be last. The proctor continued giving same rule as canon. Team 7 had Earth Scroll and they entered the forest. They began to search the area for anyone, but they were not lucky enough. Whole day passed, but there was no one. Naruto said, "We can't anyone like this, so we should head towards tower because there would be teams setting up trap to capture other teams, so we should spilt and attack the team." They nodded and went to sleep. Next day they got up and went on the same direction, but they spilt it up. Naruto sensed a team hiding in trees and he saw their headband and understood they were from Cloud. Naruto signaled his team to attack. They shunshined behind the 3 and chopped their necks. Unfortunately for them, they found Earth Scroll. They spilt it again and found and sand team. The team leader said to Naruto, "You're alone, so give us your scroll or we will kill." Naruto just snorted and went a set of hand signs and said, "Wind style. Wind Sikthi." Naruto nodded to Itachi and Yugao to continue. Itachi did fire style, Fire Dragon, and Yugao did lightning style, Lightning Bolt. The collaboration did a lot of damage, but soon a team knocked out. And Naruto could this with his shadow clones too. They finally find a heaven scroll and they began their journey to the tower and reached it. They opened the scroll and Naruto understood that it is summoning scroll, and he said to the team, and they threw away the scroll. A Chunin appeared and saw the time they have arrived. She was shocked because they have broke the previous record that 2 days time and they have done it 1.5 day. Then she told them that 3 days to rest and Holage will tell the rest. Team 7 was resting at the given room and waited for the other teams to come. While waiting for other teams, Naruto and Yugao were growing closer. Naruto now understood that he had some feelings for Yugao but said nothing, afraid of rejection. Itachi saw that and can see in Yugao's eyes that she have some feelings too. He encouraged Naruto to go ahead and confess, but he said, "Itachi, I am very nervous, but I will think about it after the exams because I have to show everyone that I shouldn't be underestimated." Itachi nodded and understood that Naruto is referring to his family. After 3 days only came one was from cloud and other from mist. When they met at the ground and saw Minato. When the teams were standing side by side, Kurama sensed something and told Naruto, I am sensing Isabu and Matatabi's chakra here. Last I remember is that Isabu was at mist and Matabi was at cloud, so be careful. The girl with blonde hair have Matatabi and the guy with blonde hair pink eyes have Isabu. They can interact with each other, but they would not expect us to be working together because they think I am too stubborn to work with a human. Naruto laughed internally at the last part but nodded and thanked Kurama. He watched Yujito and Yagura with side-eye checking for any weaknesses but found none. Matatabi told the same about Yagura and Naruto. Yagura was also told by Isabu. They watched each other side-eye. And Cloud and Mist send their Jinchuriki because they wanted to show that powerful warriors too. While this was going on, Minato did the speech how Chunin exams is important, etc. The main point he said was, you all have 1 week to prepare for the final exams because you might be hurt or anything else. All team nodded and left. Shikaku was waiting outside the training ground for his team, and he congratulated them on passing the second round. They nodded. He said, you should rest this week. Though Naruto had other plans. The week passed and Naruto learned something that no one knew except Kurama. The day came finally and they met at Chunin exam stadium. Their odd number of people, that is why one person would move to second round, which was Yugao, and she was angry that she didn't get to fight, which Naruto handled and calmed her down. First match was Itachi versus a Cloud Nin. The match began and Itachi activated his Two-Tomo Sharingan. The Cloud Nin sent a lightning style, lightning bolt, which Itachi dodged. Then Cloud tried Headhunter Jutsu but Itachi substituted out of there. Then both met their eyes and Cloud Nin gritted his teeth and draw out his sword and channel his lightning chakra in it. He headed straight at Itachi, who surprisingly just stood there. The Cloud Nin stabbed him and stood with pride, but soon the world faded away and Itachi was standing behind him with a sword to his neck. The Cloud Nin was shocked and, how did you place Genjutsu on me? Then Itachi just smirked at him and told him to surrender, which he did. Itachi didn't say anything because he is not foolish to reveal his secrets. At Hokage stands. Hokage, you have got a prodigy and a new Chunin, said the third Mizukage, which Minato nodded. I was pissed but said nothing because he knew that Yujito would handle it. Back to the stadium. The second match was a Cloud Nin versus Mist Nin, which was a draw. Then the third match was Yagura versus Mist Nin, which he forfeited because of the fear of Yagura, as he knows the power of him. The fourth match and the last match of the first round, which was Yujito versus Naruto. Both were excited for this match and had determination. At Hokage stands. I said, Minato, your son would lose here because Yujito is the strongest genin in my village now. Minato said nothing, but he was thinking that Naruto might lose here, but little did he knew. Back to the stadium. The match started but of neither of them moved. Then Yujito started doing hand signs and did fire style. Fireball jutsu, which fire was blue. Naruto substituted out and attacked at her from back with his sword. Kushina was shocked as she recognized the style which Naruto was using and she knew she never teached Naruto. Back to Naruto, who sweeping at Yujito, who was dodging it. Then Naruto added fire and wind chakra to his sword and shocked everyone at the control at the elements of his. He sent a combination style, Dragon Slash, which hit Yujito but it was at her shoulder. Yujito grunted and asked Matatabi, Mata, can you send your chakra? And she said, Cat, you can't handle it now. Yujito said she would handle it. Then outside Yujito got enveloped in a one-tail cloak. It stunned everyone and people of Leaf started booing because this chakra is reminding them of 9 tails. Yujito her state of mind right there and started to attack Naruto randomly. Naruto make 2 shadow clones and spread them. Original did wind style, wind scythe, and his first clone did fire style, fire dragon, and his second clone did lightning style, lightning bolt. This made huge explosion because it had more power than the team did because they did not want it to kill the team. This stunned everyone because of the explosion, and Minato and Kushina were also stunned that Naruto had 3 natures, but they saw that Hiruzen was not shocked and thought that did Hiruzen knew? But they didn't ask him. The attack did nothing to Yujito, but she became more mad and Minato thought to stop the match but decided against it. Then made 3 more shadow clone and spread them again. He decided that he would show everyone he had with style, and Kurama chuckled at it and told, Yes, I want to see the face of that blonde when he sees that he had made big mistake kicking you out. Which Naruto chuckled and nodded his head. He distracted Yujito from his shadow clone and it happened as he planned. After some time, everyone was thinking what he was doing, but his team knew that he must have some plan. Naruto just dodged for some time until his shadow clone did their part, which happened now, and he lured Yujito there, which she did. Then suddenly stop and Yujito was about to attack and everybody was thinking why he is not moving, and they got their answer. Naruto made a ram seal and saw Yujito standing and struggling through the paralyzed seal he made. Minato and Kushina had their eyes widen and it got more wider after they saw what he did after. Naruto did some hand signs and did with style. Tail beast suppression. He did suppressed Matatabi's chakra and Yujito passed out after that because forcefully suppression her chakra. Team 7 was surprised that Naruto had with style and never said anything about it. Hiruzen was just smirking and enjoying the looks he is getting from Minato and Kushina. Asked, Minato, I didn't think your boy had with style, but by the looks of yours I can see you also didn't know about this. Minato was there stunned and thought how Naruto had with style, but he didn't knew that he was for more surprise. The proctor announced, winner of match Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Everybody in the stadium cheered for him and Naruto just waved his hands. He went to the stands and saw his team and they asked, how do you have with style and why didn't say about to them? He said, I don't know how I have it, but I want to keep some ace up my sleeve. They nodded and after 10 minutes they started the second round. The first match of second round, which was Itachi versus Yugao, and they locked their eyes and nodded. The proctor started the match. Yugao started with ninjutsu. She did lightning style. Lightning bolt, which he dodged, and she did fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu. Itachi did water style, water bullet. Then she drawed out her sword and he did the same and they started their sword clash. Unfortunately for Yugao, Itachi have more agility and got cut in her leg, which slowed her down and she lost as couldn't dodge lightning style. Paralyzed jutsu and she got knocked out. The proctor and announced Itachi as winner and the people cheered for him. The Uchiha clan was most loudest and Fugaku was proud. The next match was Yagura versus Naruto and it got some cheers from the people. They got down and the proctor started the match. Yagura moved at very speed, which impressed the Kagez, though Naruto dodged the punch from Yagura and they got in taijutsu battle. Yagura tried to sweep Naruto's leg, but he dodged and countered it with his punch to gut, which connected, though it did very little to Yagura. Yagura jumped back and did hand signs at very high rate, which impressed everyone, and did water style, water bullet. Naruto used wind style, great breakthrough, which splattered the water. Yagura then got pissied as he was being countered every attack he is throwing at his opponent. Then he got enveloped in his two tails cloak and did a water style, water bomb jutsu, which got amplified with Biju state, and Naruto knew he had no place to run, so he stood there. At Hokage stands. Minato got up from his seat because he might lose his eldest son in exams. Kushina grip led her dress tightly and Hiruzen was also stunned. Back to stadium. Naruto eyes started to change color from blue to purple and have Tomo and raised his hands, which confused the people but got their answers quickly. Naruto absorbed the jutsu and had his fox grin and he thought, I am such a badass, which Kurama agreed on. All at the Hokage stand were shocked and Minato, Kushina and Hiruzen were shocked that Naruto had Rinnegan. Naruto got up and he placed in a ram seal and realized some resistance seals from his body, and then he used swift realce, but nobody noticed that because it can't be seen except a dojutsu user, and Itachi saw it as he activated his Sharingan to see any weakness of Naruto for the next match. Naruto got behind Yagura and punched him through the stadium. Yagura recovered from it quickly, though Naruto used universal pull and Yagura to him and he absorbed Isabu's chakra. Yagura passed due chakra exhaustion. The proctor announced winner of the match Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The second round is now over and now is finale, which is between Naruto versus Itachi. Now we will take 10 minutes break. The crowd cheered more for him. Naruto said to Kurama, Kurama, we need to train on swift realce, it is best at close range. Which Kurama nodded and said yes. Naruto reached the stands and saw Itachi coming at him and said, even if you have with style and Rinnegan, I will not go out without a fight. Naruto nodded and respect for Itachi grew more. After the break they got down and the proctor came down and started the match. Itachi activated his Sharingan and took out his sword and rushed towards Naruto and he dodged it. Then Naruto took out his own sword and clashed against his rival. Naruto added water and lightning to his sword and did combination style. Kurama slash. And he named it because he wanted to respect him, and the idea of combining two natures in his sword was Kurama's idea. It cut through Itachi's sword, but it only cut Itachi's cheek. Itachi and Naruto made eye contact and Itachi put him in a genjutsu, though Kurama broke it and said, "You idiot, don't you if make eye contact with he can put in a genjutsu because you are only floating." Naruto said to Kurama and said he would check it. Naruto then said, "How about we end in our last move?" And Itachi nodded. Itachi started to make his hand cover with fire and did fire style. Burning Bird. It was a jutsu which would impact on enemy and give them burn enough to state of a knockout or kill him, but Itachi put less power to not to kill his best friend and rival. Naruto moved his palm forward and a familiar sound swirling came and Rinnegan was made, though he made it enough to only keep Itachi down. They both rushed at each other, but Naruto activated his Rinnegan and Universal pulled Itachi to him and absorbed Itachi's jutsu and slammed Rinnegan on his gut and knocked out Itachi. The proctor came down and said, "Winner of this round and of the Chunin exams, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." Everybody cheered for him and he raised his arm like All Might. Minato, Kushina was shocked that Naruto had learned Rinnegan and won the Chunin exams. Minato thought that, "I have to talk with Naruto with how he have with style and Rinnegan? How he learned Rinnegan." Naruto got congratulations on winning the Chunin exams. He met his team and they congratulated him and he nodded. Itachi was healed by the medics and there were no permanent damage. They went to have barback to celebrate Naruto winning the exams. During eating, Naruto half-asked, half-joked Itachi, "I hope you don't dislike for me winning the exams or slamming Rinnegan on you." Itachi, I was twitching and Yugao laughed and Sensei smirked. "I already knew that I can't win. So no, I don't dislike you, and for the last part one would take revenge one day," Itachi said with a smirk. Naruto just smirked and said, "You require a decade worth of training to even hurt me." He laughed at Itachi as his plan backfired. After talking and eating, they got out of the restaurant. They went back to home and rested. The next day, Naruto got up and did his morning routine and got ready to meet with his sensei at the Hokage's tower for the result of the Chunin exams. They met at the tower and greeted each other. They entered the tower and saw the secretary and he guided them to the council chamber. They entered the chamber and all eyes were on Naruto. Shikaku took his seat as Nara head. Then Minato started, "As you know, you are here, so we decide that if you're a Chunin or not." The team nodded. "Yugao Yuzuki," she stepped forward. "The results are great, you did great at the exam and you're very good at Kenjutsu and Ninjutsu and average at Taijutsu. We discussed it and now from here on we are promoting Yugao Yuzuki as a Chunin." Minato said and gave her a Chunin jacket. She took it and put it on and she stepped back. "Itachi Uchiha," and he stepped forward. "The results are freet for you too and you did grat at the exam as well. You are grat at Kenjutsu, Ninjutsu, Genjutsu and average at Taijutsu. We discussed and from now on you are promoted to a Chunin." Minato said and gave Itachi his Chunin jacket, which he took and wore. Fugaku had pride in his eyes. "Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze." And he stepped forward. "The results are the best and you're great at Kenjutsu, Ninjutsu, Fuinjutsu, Taijutsu and average at medical jutsu." And Naruto learned some basic jutsu from Hiruzen after his sensei almost died. "We discussed and you are not promoted to Chunin." The team was about to protest, but Mianto continued, "Instead you are promoted to a Jonin because we saw your skills and intelligence at the exams and decided you have all requirements to be a Jonin." Minato explained and was smiling and had pride in his eyes. He gave Naruto the Jonin jacket and Naruto wore it. The team was shocked that Naruto direct got promoted to Jonin. They were also happy for him because he got promoted. Then Minato said, "The team is dismissed and Naruto, you will come to my office 2 hours later after finish with the council. I want to talk to you in private." The team nodded and left. Naruto knew what Minato wanted to talk about. Kurama said, "They all are power hungry. They saw your power and now want you back after they kicked you out of their home." Naruto agreed with Kurama. 2 hours later, he got to the Hokage's tower and knocked at the door. He heard, "Come in," and he entered the office and saw Minato, Kushina, and Jiraiya. They greeted him and he just nodded his head. Minato now came to main point and said, "Naruto, now I know you that why I are you, so I keeping straight to the point. First question is, how do you have with style and Rinnegan? Second is, why didn't you tell us? Third is, how did you learn Rinnegan and your mother's Kenjutsu style?" Naruto nodded and started, "If you know that only Senju can have with style, so I am a Senju, I don't know how. As for Rinnegan, I don't know. For the second question, the answer is that if put some attention on me after my siblings were born and trained me, then I would have told you. For the third, I don't want to say it because it is my secret. Minato and Kushina tried to deny that they neglect him. Then Minato said, I was busy with paperwork and Kushina was with your siblings. Minato tried to defend him and Kushina, but Naruto said, I know you were busy, but you still could make a shadow clone to help me. You did it for the paperwork and played with Menma and Naruto. You could have trained me too, and after my godfather said that my siblings are the child of prophecy. I was happy for them, but you decided to kick me out for them to have some place to grow. Now that I have shown you my power, you are coming back, and now I have my team as my family, and I don't need you as I have made Jonin. Now I can earn more money from mission, so I don't anyone to lean on. Naruto shouted, but not enough to reach outside the room. Kushina is in tears, realizing how did his son grew up, because most of her life grew up like that before she and Minato got together. Minato was holding his tears back and comforted Kushina, and said nothing to Naruto because he knew he was at fault here. Jiraiya was ashamed of himself for kicking out his godson. Minato then asked, Naruto would ever forgive us? Naruto was silent for a minute, then said, I would think about it. Now should I leave if you don't mind? And Minato nodded his head and Naruto left. Naruto reached his apartment and opened his door and sat down. He ate ramen because he didn't want to cook anything now. He was thinking how it would turn out if his parents would not neglect or if he forgived him now. Naruto was brought out of his thoughts when he was pulled to Mindscape by Kurama, and he asked him why he was brought here. Kurama said, we should see what would be your summoning since you are free right now. And Naruto looked at him with a deadpan expression and said, I can summon any summoning, Kurama, so why I would need a summoning? Kurama said, I know, you fool, that you don't need summoning, but you can't learn Sage Mode from the Rinnegan summoning. You have to have a summoning contract to learn it. You can learn about gathering nature chakra and you would be very powerful with it. Naruto nodded his head and asked how would he know which summoning animal would be his. Kurama said, I would show you the reverse summoning technique and you would go to realm of whichever summoning you are suited the most. After you get your contract, then whenever you reverse summon yourself you would to the summoning realm of the animal you have. Naruto nodded his got out of his mindscape and did hand signs which Kurama sent to his mind, and he reverse summoned himself and found out he was in some type of mountain. Then he started to walk, then voice came, Oh, it seems someone have come here after some centuries. It is nice to see, so I am asking why are you here, human? The dragon said, coming out from the shadow. It was red in color and had scales. It had yellow eyes and 2 small horns coming out. Naruto saw this and answered, I wanted to have a summoning contract, so I reverse summoned myself and found out that I was here. Dragon was impressed that anyone would come here. Then he said, even if you came here like you said it was, I would have to take a test to see if you are really worthy of having dragon summoning. Naruto nodded his head and said that he was ready for the test and asked what was the test. The dragon said, the test is that you have to survive my strongest attack or else you would die here. Naruto gulped, but he nodded his head to say that he was ready. The dragon started to power up and attacked, then Naruto activated the Rinnegan and did Almighty Push, which had a lot of power in it. The attack of the dragon dispersed at the pressure of the Almighty Push. The dragon was impressed but saw that the boy had the Rinnegan. He was shocked that a Rinnegan user was still there, but he asked the boy, you have Rinnegan, tell me how you have it? And why do you need the summoning? Because you can summon any summoning. Naruto answered, for the first question, the Rinnegan came from my partner inside me, that is the 9 tails he gave me as a gift to me. I would have given you his name, but he doesn't like it. For the second question, I know I can do that, but I can't learn the Sage Mode and I would need a summoning contract, that is why. The dragon nodded his head and said, you have the test, so you can sign the summoning contract and we can be summoned when you need help. My name is Dai and I would be your personal summoning. Naruto nodded his head. Dai brought the scroll that had the contract. He spread it and said, you have write your name in blood and your 5 finger in blood. Naruto did as he was told. After he completed it, the seal glowed for like 10 seconds, then it returned back to normal. Naruto then asked Dai, when would I start learning the Sage Mode? Dai sighed and said, Naruto, you know the Sage Mode is not easy and it seems you can die if you are not careful, so I would suggest you come here to learn Sage Mode after some years, like 4 years or so. Naruto was stunned that he might die if he isn't careful, but had determined eyes that he would not die. Naruto nodded his head and thanked Dai for everything and got back to his home and went to sleep because he was tired after this much. The next day Naruto got up and did his morning routine and headed to the training ground 7 to meet his team. By the time he got there everybody was there. Shikaku started, "Congratulations on being promoted. I am very proud of being on your sensei, and I now admit it that I like my time spent with you. But happy days come to end. Now you all are promoted to Chunin and Jonin, so Team 7 is disbanded from here on." Naruto, Itachi, and Yugao were shocked at the revelation, but Itachi and Naruto guessed it somewhat. Then he said, "Even though your team is disbanded, you will work still together now because you are young and don't have experience. Tomorrow you would your first day rank mission, so be ready and pack your things for everything." We nodded and left to pack their things. Naruto also packed 6th level of Fuinjutsu book with him to learn doing the trip because he knows that higher rank missions last a long time. The next day came and they all went at the Hokage's tower. They knocked at the door and a voice said, "Come in," and they entered. Minato began to say, "So you all know that your team is disbanded, but you will work for now because you are young and don't have experience, so I would be giving you a rank for the experience. Now your mission is Now your mission is to bring back Tsunade Senju back to Leaf Mission safely because we need her medical ninjutsu to help with the hospital. Last known location of her was Umiai Town," said Minato. Team nodded their head and took the scroll and left the tower. They left the village and headed towards Umiai Town, which was 2 days' trip. And I just put Umiai Town name, it is not any town, but consider it for now. The time felt as if fly by and they reached the town, and now they have searched the whole, which luckily Naruto knew something that would help a lot in finding her, and summoned some dogs and cat and gave it a picture to find, and they spread it out. Team went to a hotel and checked in. Few hours a dog had found her on a bar laying funked, and a younger woman with a pig in her hand. The team decided that they would meet her now. They got up and headed towards the bar, and when they entered the bar and they had clutched their nose as it was full smell of liquor and they didn't like it a bit. Then they sat down in front of Tsunade and the lady, and she asked, "Why are you sitting here? This place is reserved. Are someone from the debt collectors? Are yo dash?" She wanted to continue, but she was cut off by Naruto, and he said, "We are here from Leaf and send to bring her back." Tsunade stood up and pointed her finger at Naruto and said, "I will not go back to that rigid village that took everything from me. It took my clan, lover, and my brother. I will never go back to that village. By the way, who are and way?" Naruto told in normal voice, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. This is Itachi Uchiha and this is Yugao Yuzuki. We are here on a mission to bring you back. We can also bring you back forcefully." Itachi and Yugao got a little tense. Tsunade rose her eyebrow and then started to laugh hardly and said, "You brat, you are 4 decades young to be at my level. But if you want that, then okay, so then let's then make a bet. We will fight, and if I win, you all will give me all your money and leave and never come back looking for me. If you win, then I will come to village willingly. Now brat, do you accept it?" Naruto looked at his team and they first discussed, and they made a decision that Naruto would fight her because there is no other option to bring her back. Naruto nodded his head and said, "I accept. We are going to forest to not create any destruction here." Tsunade nodded her head and started following them. While they were discussing, Shizune tried to stop her master, but for no avail. She also tried the kids to back off, but they didn't listen. They came to the forest and Naruto got in his fox fist style and confused Tsunade because she have never saw that style, but she complied and rose her finger and said, "I would only require 1 finger to beat you." She smirked. Naruto said, "If I were you, I would not underestimate my opponent, but well, easy win for me." They started the match and Naruto rushed at her and she slammed her finger down and it cracked the ground. Naruto jumped up and got down with a drop kick, which she dodged and attacked him and flicked on his head. But instead of flying away, he poofed in smoke. Tsunade's eyes widened and thought, a shadow clone. When did he? But was brought out of her shock and saw Naruto going through hand seals and did with style. For pillar prison. Tsunade and Shizune both were shocked and thought, how did he have would release? And many questions. Tsunade got captured and she felt her chakra leaving her, so she put a lot of chakra on her fist and slammed it down. She got down, but she was paralyzed and she looked down to see some seals beneath her, and before she could even think, she got knocked out by a Rinnegan by Naruto. The team and Shizune both were in shock, but Shizune shook her head and rushed to Tsunade to check if she is all right, but Naruto said she is fine, but only damage at the part 1 hit her Rinnegan. Step aside, I would heal her. Shizune was gonna protest, but Naruto said, I want to heal her because I inflicted the damage, so please let me do it. She nodded and stepped aside and got behind Naruto. Naruto activated Rinnegan and summoned the King of Hell and put Tsunade there, and it closed the mouth and chewed and brought Tsunade back to normal, but she was still knocked out. He deactivated his Rinnegan and turned and said, "Don't ask any questions now, I would answer it when she get up." Shizen nodded her head and took Tsunade to her room, and the team followed. The team asked Naruto during they were going, "Naruto, you planned it all, don't you?" Naruto smirked and said, "Of course I know I couldn't defeat her with her full strength, but she underestimated me and I took it as an advantage. I first make some sealess shadow clones, then I replace myself with it. Then I captured her in the 4-pillar prison. I knew she would punch it through it, so the shadow clones made a paralyzed seal and she got trapped, and I made a Rinnegan and ended it." They nodded their head in understanding. After some hours, Tsunade got up with a headache because she was drunk at the time of fight. Then memories came back to her and she shouted, "No! I lost to a brat and now have to go back to village." But calmed after taking some breaths. Then she saw her surroundings and saw the team and Shizen sitting waiting for her to wake up. They came around and Naruto said, "I won the bet, Granny," in a cheeky tone. Tsunade got a tick mark and Shizen started laughing. "Don't call me that, brat." Naruto got quiet after that. Tsunade then asked, "Brat, how do you have with style?" Naruto then said, "I am a senju, that is why. I don't who from my parents is a senju, but my guess would be my father because he was orphan and didn't knew his parents." Tsunade nodded her head and said, "You won the bet, brat, so I will be coming back with you to the village, and in a way you are my family. So go for now, come tomorrow I would have packed my things by that time." They nodded and left to their rooms. Next day they all got ready to leave. As soon as they left the town, they saw something that left them shocked. They saw 200 shinobi. They were from IWA. They were shouting, "We are here to kill the Namikaze." Naruto was shocked that this much shinobi have came here to kill him. Then he turned around and told his team, "They are here for me, you all go with her and I will stall them. Go now." The team put a heavy heart and moved while Tsunade was screaming, "I don't want to lost my last family again." She was knocked out by Shizen, who injected a sleeping serum inside her, and she was also in tears. Yugao and Itachi had tears going down their face, and Itachi awakened 3 Tomo Sharingan and they left. 2 days later they reached the village. Throughout the way everybody was crying a lot. Tsunade got up a day after and started screaming at Shizen for doing that, and she was crying a lot too. They reported it to the Hokage and he was stunned, and he sent Anbus to search for Naruto. He never ever thought that IWA was like that to kill his son for revenge. When Kushina heard the news, she was devastated and she screamed at Minato for sending Naruto at the mission. The next day came and Minato was sitting at his desk worrying about his son and blaming himself for his son's death. Then his secretary burst into his room and started stuttering and pointing towards to someone who looked like he was fought a war. Then he slowly came into light and he slowly removed his hood and shocked Minato. It was none other than Dekusari wrong anime. It is none other than Naruto, and he lived. Minato was shocked as hell and a lot questions, but kept it aside for now, and he reached him and hugged him tightly. Naruto couldn't breath and he was turning blue and said, "I can't breath." Naruto chalked out. Minato after some seconds realized him and asked, "How are you here? How did you survived? Did you escaped? Or did you killed everyone?" Naruto told him to calm down, and then he said, "Calm down, please bring my team and Kushina here. I will tell all at once because I don't want to repeat the story for everyone." Minato and summoned his Anbu and told them to bring Kushina, Tsunade, and his team. The Anbu nodded his head and left to bring them. After 30 minutes everyone came to the office. They saw a hooded figure there but didn't question about it. They asked, "Did we got any information on Naruto/Brat?" Minato nodded his head and motioned the hooded fire to come forward, and it did, and he slowly removed his and again revealed his face, and that was none other than Dekusari, not anymore. It was Naruto. Everybody was shocked and happy. Yugao rushed to him and hugged him tight, and he hugged back. She said, "I am so happy that you're alive and well." Itachi and Naruto just fist bumped each other. Shikaku nodded his head and Tsunade crushed him to death and said, "Don't ever do that again or else I would kill you myself." Naruto gulped and nodded. Then Kushina also crushed him and started to say how much she missed him and how much she was concerned. Then the question on everybody's mind came, "How did you survive?" Naruto nodded and answered. Flashback. When the team and Tsunade left, Naruto said in his mind, "Great, it's my first mission, and now I have to deal with 200 shinobi. Kurama, any suggestions? Kurama thought and said, kid, you can summon Dai and then you can the secret jutsu that you have been learning and at end who all lasted you can take my chakra and end it. Naruto took the suggestion and thanked Kurama and did the hand seals and summoned Dai. Dai asked Naruto, why did you summon me? Then he saw 200 shinobis there and smirked a bit and said, thank you Naruto for bringing my limbs are going numb for not using them. They would be my warm-up. Naruto nodded. And Dai is like 800 feet tall, just want to clear it. Naruto did hand seals and shouted, wood style. Wood dragon jutsu. And a wood dragon emerged from the ground, started to cause havoc. Dai also started his assault and they both nodded their head and Naruto did the hand signs and said wind style, great breakthrough and Dai D fire style, hellstorm and shooted hot and dense fireballs which got stronger with the wind breakthrough. 150 was already got kill in the damage caused by the wood dragon and Dai and that attack. 25 were left injured and the rest 25 took cover from the attack. They were on panic mode. They decided to retreat but Naruto got in front of them and said, now you came to kill me and now you are retreating now? I can't do that now, can I? The ninja were in horror but then 20 ninja got up and said to the rest of the 5 to leave and they obeyed them. The 20 rushed at him and he also rushed at them. Naruto only used pure taijutsu on them and 4 were knocked out and 5 were already killed. A ninja put an explosive tag on a kunai and throw at Naruto. Naruto caught it between the air and took the tag and placed the tag on the one who threw at him and said, I think this belongs to you. The shinobi tried to remove it but ran out of time and exploded and took 10 more with him. Only 1 remained were the 4 knocked out 1 and the 5 that left. He killed the 4 with his katana and looked at the setting sun. He took his time on defeating all 200 shinobis. Then he decided that he will make the camp here only and try to recover his chakra and his stamina and thought that he would take for Konoha tomorrow. After 2 days he arrived, which was a day later when his team reached. End of the flashback. Everybody on the office eyes widen at Naruto having dragon summoning contract, killing 195 enemies himself. Naruto looked down and asked in a sad tone, am I monster? I killed so many people I can see their blood in my hands. Minato quickly engulfed his son in a hug and said, no son, you had to defend yourself and your precious people. I also had some nightmares at killing the ninjas that day. Don't blame yourself, this is ninja world, we have to kill to survive. Minato patted Naruto's head who was now only sobbing and after some time he calmed down. Minato said, I got the report from your team and you will paid after some time, so I am giving you a week break before start another mission. They nodded and left. Tsunade grabbed his hand and dragged him to the hospital and said, you fought 200 shinobis by yourself, you have to let yourself get checked out. Naruto just nodded his head and let Tsunade get checked him out. The whole week went and the friends each other presents and celebrated Naruto's victory, and the next week, when they entered the Hokage's office to take another mission, they were all shocked at the news that they received, and that was that Naruto got on the bingo book and his name was Dragon God and he was AS rank ninja. Minato then said, congratulations on being recognized as AS rank ninja at such a young age, but you need to be more careful as you have a bounty on your head from IWA. Naruto, I have offer for you if you want to accept. Naruto thought about it for a minute, then nodded his head. Then Minato said, and everyone on the team got shocked, but Naruto inside his anticipated it a little, but he don't thought that he would asked about this beg or he thought, I want you to join Anbu. I am giving you the whole time of this mission to decide what would be your decision. I don't you to be feel stressed, you can decline it too. Naruto nodded his head and saw Yugao flinch a little, and then he remembered that Yugao had a dream that she wanted to be a head captain of the Anbu. Then he tried to console her because he had some feelings towards her and couldn't express during the events. She just gave him a fake smile and said, I am okay Naruto, congrats on being S rank at such a young age. Naruto though just nodded, but inside he could feel his heart breaking apart seeing at such a state. The mission was that they have to protect a merchandiser from the ninjas of Kumo IWA and missed they have to bring him safe back to Suna. They left to go to their home and packed their stuff and got out and head towards the town where they would start their mission. They got there after 3 hours and saw the merchandiser and they got on the road. The road was peaceful and Naruto was thinking about the offer that he was offered. Then he asked Kurama for any suggestion. Kurama said, I don't know kid, there are pros like you would get more experience and would likely learn more things and know about some secrets, and cons are that your life would be at risk and you not be able to contact anyone close to you enough. I have given you pros and cons, now you have to decide it. Naruto nodded his head after listening to the pros and cons. They came to a stop as the sun was already setting and they set up the camp and slept there for the night. The next day moved forward to their destination but was stopped by Garen Urin, who was a rank missing nin from Kumo. The team got tensed and Garen asked, "Brats, let me take me that man and I might let you live." Merchandiser was trembling because he was thinking that the kids would just let him go, but he was proven wrong when Naruto moved forward and said, "This is our client and we can't let him go." Then Garen said, "Too bad, now you have to die." Then he rushed forward and took out his sword and swinged at Naruto, and at him, but he poofed. That confused Garen but understood that it was a shadow clone. Then he was struck by 3 shuriken but substituted by Tree Trunk and attacked Naruto from behind, but Itachi saved him and hit Garen with fire style. Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Garen only took 2 fireballs, but then he dodged it. Garen landed and Naruto took out his sword and engulfed it with water and lightning chakra nature. Garen was impressed. Then he had to dodge a swip from Yugao. Then he and Itachi and Yugao was fighting a kenjutsu battle while Naruto made a few shadow clones. After some minutes them battling, Naruto shouted now and Yugao and Itachi got aside and Naruto was almost done his attack, but Garen said, "I can easily dodge that." Naruto just smirked and Garen felt heavy and he fell down to the ground and he saw some seals. Naruto said, "It is a gravity seal, you can't get out of it since it takes your chakra and make you lose consciousness, but today you will be unconscious for the rest of the time." Naruto shouted combination style, vapor burning jutsu, and shot a water lightning wave towards Garen. It burned him very badly and only his head could be identified. They cut off his head and put it on a sealing scroll. The merchandiser threw up. Then after that they took of Tsuna. Took them 1.5 days to reach there. The merchandiser signed the scroll, which was that he safely reached to his destination. Then they took of back to Konoha. Naruto just summoned his dragon and they flew most of the time. Took them 8 hours to reach Konoha. They first reached the Hokage office to give their report and they knocked the door and a voice said, "Come in." They entered and Minato was shocked and checked them clearly and asked, "How did you all came here so fast? Did the client died?" He was cut off by Naruto, who gave the report of the mission and took out Garen's head as proof. Minato was shocked at first, but he remembered that his son has defeated 200 Jonins and Chunins. Then he said, "We came here so fast because of my dragon summoning." Minato nodded his head and then Naruto answered the question before it was even asked. "Yes, I will join and I want to be known as Dragon." Minato nodded his head and told, "Okay, you all will get a part of the bounty on Garen, and Naruto, you come here tomorrow and I'll give you your mask and dress, and then I will give the place where the Anbu headquarters are, then you would go and start your journey, Dragon." They nodded and left. Naruto asked them, "Want to join me on Ichiraku's? I am hungry?" Itachi shrugged and followed and Yugao said, "I am a little busy, but you continue on." Itachi and Naruto both saw the sadness in her eyes but left to have ramen. The next day, Naruto got to the Hokage's tower and he got to the office and knocked the door and a voice came, "Come in." And he entered. Then Minato noticed it was Naruto and he greeted him and he nodded his head. Then Minato gave him the dress/uniform of Anbu and a mask in which Dragon Wad engraved, and he took and changed it very quickly. Minato gave him a slip and he took it and body flickered out of there and got to the destination and saw a dog Anbu there and he recognized him as Kakashi-senpai. He greeted and Kakashi just nodded and took him to the underground base, and the rest of the Anbu were shocked. They were shocked because he was short compared to the others and they thought, "How can a little brat came here? How do you have a mask of leaf?" Kakashi and Naruto saw all the looks but shrugged it off, and Kakashi continued showing Naruto around and where he might sleep if he chooses. After some hours Minato came there and announced the newcomer Dragon. The Anbu commander knew who Dragon was because he only requested him to join. Then he said, "Hokage-sama, if you don't mind, we would like to test his skills to see in which team we should put him in." Minato nodded and Naruto moved forward on the ring and 2 elite Anbu came. The commander said, "Don't worry about losing or winning, we only see your skills and choose to put on what team you are in." Naruto nodded his and understood it. Then match started. The 2 Anbu rushed and Naruto just stood there. Everybody was confused and Minato just smirked and the 2 Anbu cut him, but he poofed and Naruto came from beneath and did the earth style, headhunter jutsu. Then the Anbu was going to come out, but their paper bombs down and the Anbu that was down was knocked out and his legs were burned a little and the Anbu that was up was sent flying off. Then Naruto did the lightning style, flash step. He came above the Anbu and slammed a Rinnegan on his gut, which knocked him out. The commander was impressed and he expected it, and the other Anbus except Kakashi was extremely shocked that a kid have defeated 2 elite Anbu. Then the commander then said he would on Team Hunter. Dragon, congratulations, you are now officially a Anbu, and you would go on the missions after you read the rules and can communicate with others in our secret language. Naruto nodded and everyone was shocked because a rookie was in the strongest Anbu team. Naruto got to learning the things what he needed to do. Naruto learned all the things within a day because of his Rinnegan. He and his team was summoned to the office and they got their mission, which was capture or kill Orochimaru, which had fled from the village and have become a Rouge ninja. They left and packed all there as fast as they could. They left the gates and rushed out of the village. They rushed for a day and saw Orochimaru at a camp he set. They saw a baby approximate 3 years old and she was a girl with red hair. Naruto didn't know what, but he could feel she is his family, but he couldn't know who it is. The captain in the secret language said, "Dragon on right and Parrot on left and Crow on behind, and I would be at front." They nodded their head and got to their position. They were waiting for their captain to give them a signal, and after a few minutes they got the signal and they attacked. They entered the camp and they saw paper bombs lighting up and their eyes widened, but Naruto did hand signs on time and a wooden dome protected all of them. The Anbu captain nodded his head in acknowledgement and they continued on catching Orochimaru. After a few minutes they catched up and Orochimaru cursed himself and thought, "I was sure that someone must be hurt and I could escape." Then he saw there was 5 normal Anbu and 1 shorter Anbu. He stopped and thought that he is a Sannin and that he could take care of them and be on his way and he don't have to worry the rest of journey. As soon as he stopped, all Anbu dropped to the ground and got to their fighting stances. Orochimaru chuckled a little and said, "Look what we've got here, Anbus from Leaf. I knew they were going to send some Anbus, but I didn't think they would send 5 Anbus and a kid. Are they underestimating me? I am freaking Sannin. And no one knows the strongest or weakest team other than Anbu and Hokage." Orochimaru got on his snake stances and rushed at Parrot and tried to knock out him unconscious fast, but Parrot dodged it and sliced Orochimaru in half, but it turns out to be a mud clone and he emerges from the ground behind Dragon and tried to cut him, but he was sent flying back by almighty push, but he didn't heard the attack's name. He was confused as to how he was sent flying back, but he recovered fast and attacked again, but was stopped by the captain and they got on a Kenjutsu battle and Naruto made shadow clones and waited for the moment. Then as soon as they were ready and he did earth style, body binding jutsu. His shadow clones did fire style, fire dragon, and wind style, wind bullet. Orochimaru was binded and he was shocked that he was captured so easily, and then he saw the 2 attacks coming at him. Then there was fire blaze at the place. After few seconds they saw a shedded skin. They got on their guard and Orochimaru got behind Crow and caught him off guard and knocked him out. The captain rushed at him and Naruto did the hand signs and did with style. 4-pillar prison. Everyone there was shocked, the Anbus, because they do not know any of skills, and Orochimaru because of the wood style that Naruto possessed. Then he thought about the child that survived his experiments but got his thoughts out because the child should be older than the Anbu. He is a different person who awakened Mokutan. I would like to have his body, but I don't have time. Then he summoned a large snake and broke the prison. Orochimaru thought, "Shit, I can't bring the child to experiment, but it doesn't matter as I can come back later for her." Then the snake swallowed Orochimaru and dug a hole and left. The Anbu captain was pissed at inside but hid it very well and said, "We've failed the mission, let's go back to the village and report the Hokage." They nodded, but before they left Dragon stopped them and said, "I can't just leave a child here." The captain sighed and said, "Dragon, it is not our duty to keep her safe." Naruto looked sadly at the child, but light bulb lit up. Then he said, "Orochimaru was kidnapping a child. There must be a reason he chose to kidnap her. What if we take her to Hokage? She must have special ability to catch Orochimaru's eyes." The captain saw a glint in Dragon's eye, but he accepted it nonetheless, and they took the kid and left. Throughout the way, Naruto asked Kid some questions like, "What is your name? Where do you live? Do you have parents? Where are they?" She answered, "My name is Karen Uzumaki." They all were shocked that there was Uzumaki left after the destruction of Yuzu. Then she continued, "I don't. Where did I live? I didn't know any of my parents. I lived in an orphanage." They nodded and said, "Don't worry, kid, we will save you." She nodded and they reached the village the day after they gave the report, and Minato was shocked that there was another Uzumaki left and he took the kid his home. He introduces Karen to everyone and they introduced them to Karen. Naruto was happy for Karen and continued his Anbu work. Time skip 3 years. Dragon is summoned in front of the new Anbu members. They were none other than Dragon was summoned in front of his new Anbu members. They are none other than Izuku Midoriya. "Ha, got you there. You thought it was Itachi, but it was Izuku. He have traveled to another dimension to be a Anbu." "No, I am kidding. It is none other than Ida." Sorry, not more of this, it is none other than Itachi Uchiha and Yugao Yuzuki. They would do the test and it will decide which team on they would be. Naruto was in his uniform so Itachi and Yugao didn't recognize him. He said, get in positions, therefore Anbu came and got in their positions and Itachi and Yugao got in their respective stances. The match started and the Anbu rushed at them, they both nodded to each other and they did fire style. Fire dragon roar and wind style. Wind scythe and did a lot of damage and knocked out 3 Anbus and one was left. They took out their swords and vanished and appeared. The Anbu was in between and Itachi was at front with holding his sword at throat and Yugao did the same but at back. Dragon nodded his head and said, they would be on Team Dog. Dog nodded his head and showed them around and gave them their code names which were Emu and Cat. They were given their Anbu gear and they learned the rules and the sign language. While they were learning they asked Dog, is anyone there named Naruto? He nodded and said, you should ask Commander Dragon, he should tell if he wanted to. They nodded and left for his office. And they forgot his Anbu name, that is why they can't identify Naruto. They came to the office and knocked at the door and a voice came, come in. They entered and saw the commander and his shadow clones doing paperwork and he looked that he was not enjoying it a bit. He said, why the hell did I take this? Then he remembered that someone was there. He then cleared his throat. He asked, may I ask why you two are here? Aren't you two supposed to learn the rules and sign language? They nodded but Cat said, we are here because we want to see our friend Naruto. He is also a Anbu member. We just wanted to see him as we didn't saw him in a year. Dragon nodded and said, usually I would not allow this, but are you sure you want to meet him? They were confused but nodded there. Then the commander slowly removed his mask and it was none other than Nizu. Sorry, that's wrong, it is none other than Naruto. They were shocked that he is the commander and etc. Their eyes are widened and their jaw dropped. Then Yugao pointed and asked, Naruto, I is to that you? How did you became T the CC commander? Itachi was thinking the same. Naruto chuckled and said, Yugao, this is me, and as to how I became the commander. Flashback 1 year. Naruto was summoned in front Hokage and the commander at Hokage's tower. He came and kneeled and greeted them. They nodded their head and told him to stand up. Captain of Team Hunter, I am about to retire from Anbu, and I want someone to take my place. Naruto nodded and Naruto became the captain of Team Hunter after a year because he was way ahead in skills than other members of the team. And the commander continued, I want you to be the youngest commander because you are way ahead than anyone else. You have already learned the Flying Thunder God, which itself is deadly. But you are very good at everything, so would accept it. Naruto was shocked that he is being offered the position of commander. Then he remembered his goal, and if he can achieve his goal by doing this, then he would this. He said, I accept it. I am honored that you chose me. Commander just laughed and said, you've earned it, Dragon. Naruto just bowed down and Minato said, Dragon, tomorrow we would announce this on the base. Naruto nodded and flashed away. Flashback end. That's how I became the commander, and that is why I couldn't come to meet you as I was busy with this. Showing the paperwork on the desk, and he said, even if I am the commander, I will not be partial with you. All the rules will apply for you both. They nodded and actually respected that, as they also don't want any partiality. They got back to learning the rules and the sign language. After they learned all the things, they left to do their first mission, and it went well. They got back and reported it to the commander, and he had more which he cursed about. But they continued their lives. Naruto started using wood and shadow clones to do his paperwork while he do training and other things. He started to try combine Chidori and Rinnegan. He also tried to make Flying Thunder God level 3. He improved in seals and was 9 seal level, and when he does 10 then he would be a certified seal master. He also started learning Sage mode. Then he discovered that he can have 2 Sage mode. First is Dragon Sage mode and second is Wood Sage mode. He honestly shocked about it when he learned about it. Kurama also forgot to told him. He relations with Yugao also got better, and after months of courage, he asked her out and she did not agreed. Ha, again got you. She agreed and said, finally, you Buffon, I was waiting for this for years. They went for a date at Barback and they enjoyed their time, and when they were going back they finally kissed each other. It lasted for good 5 seconds. They enjoyed it, but it was to be cut short when Yugao had Anbu work and Naruto had to his work. They did not do anything in Anbu headquarters, but when they were not wearing their masks. Naruto learned the Dragon Sage mode after a year. He had small dragons under him and his eyes were black and small white dots in them. The issues between Uchiha and the village began to rise, and Minato, and the commander tried to warn them but Fugaku did not agree to the terms. Then Itachi came with an excellent plan that his friend Shisui Uchiha had a Manjikyu Sharingan, and that he can cast a very difficult-to-break Genjutsu, and Naruto represented this idea to the council. Danzo tried to object saying that they can be trusted, but the council outvoted him. Naruto saw this and he started personally guarded Shisui from a distance until the day of the meeting because he don't trust Danzo a bit. The day before the meeting Shisui was attacked and Naruto saw the root Anbu members attacking Shisui. Then he saw Danzo coming there and he listened. "You don't deserve the Sharingan, I will use it wisely." He was gonna plug out Shisui's eye but Naruto stopped him and cut his hand clean off. Danzo started screaming and Naruto said, "Danzo Shimura, you tried to kill a leaf shinobi and a Anbu which is under my care, what do you have to say about this?" Danzo saw the commander and gritted his teeth and said, "He don't deserve the Sharingan, I will use it wisely. Uchiha clan cannot be changed, they have to be killed." Commander under his mask was pissed and said, "You don't have any right to decide what is their fate. You should have given them a chance, now you have pay for your crimes." Danzo laughed and said, "Even if you are the commander you can't handle all the root Anbu alone." Naruto just smirked under his mark and Meika would clone and it touched Shisui and they vanished in an orange flash. They went to Tsunade because Naruto wanted to confirm if Shisui and they found a poison in Shisui and Tsunade quickly got to her work. While this was going on Naruto had started his battle with the root Anbu. He sliced and diced everywhere then he jumped back and thought, "They are too much, I think it is the best time to do this. Last time I did this it hurt like hell but this time I will enter Sage mode." Then he entered the Dragon Sage mode and made 2 shadow clones and they started to make the Chidorigan. Naruto had accomplished it, he have successfully merged both Chidori and Rinnegan. And I will call it Chidorigan until you give me a better name. Then he rushed at the root Anbu members and smashed it on a member and when it smashed it covered the whole area with lighting and killed the members inside the area. It happened because he was in Sage mode but otherwise it would knock them out. Danzo saw this and gritted his teeth. ABD ordered more of his Anbu to attack while he was fleeing back. Naruto saw this and activated his Rinnegan and did universal pull and Danzo came flying to Naruto. Naruto created the chakra rods and pinned him down with it. It was taking very bit of chakra from Danzo while Naruto was fighting the root members. Naruto did his new combination style, Dragon's Roar. It made water, lightning and fire dragon and they merged and attacked the root members. He saw over half of the roots were killed then he saw that he have to finish it fast then he did the impossible that he combined the Wood Sage mode and Dragon Sage mode. There was a circle and point inside it, it was at his forehead then he had 2 dragons under his eyes and there were also 2 lines connecting each other. His eyes were black with white dots in it. Naruto could feel like he is a powerhouse and that he can never run out of chakra. Then he tried to make a normal Rinnegan but it came out as bigger and denser. With this newfound power he rushed at the rest that were left and finished them off. It was total 500 root Anbu members that he killed and they burned their body themselves as part of the rule they had to follow. He then took Danzo and flashed to the office and threw him to the floor. Minato saw this and said report in a serious tone and Naruto nodded and started from the beginning at how Danzo root members attempted to attack Shisui and then Danzo came and tried to pluck out Shisui's eyes. Then he stopped him and asked why he did this and he said that Uchiha can't be trusted and some rubbish then they fight and he had 500 root Anbu undercover from Hokage. Then he said, "I think Danzo have much more hidden secrets that I think we should know. We should tell Inoichi to read his mind." Minato nodded and Naruto flashed away. Naruto flashed away to Tsunade to check if Shisui is okay. He flashed in and scared Tsunade. "Kid, don't scare me like that." Naruto apologies for that and asked how Shisui is. Tsunade said, "You brought at a right time, if you were late for even a minute the poison would have spread and it would be impossible to stop it." Naruto nodded at that information. Shisui recovered after some hours and was shocked to see he was at hospital. Then the memories came back to him and he screamed, "Danzo!" Naruto heard this and entered the room. Shisui saw the commander and bowed. Naruto said, Whoa, rest, you don't need to bow now." Shisui nodded and got up and was going to ask what happened after he left but Naruto said, "I will explain it but first calm down." Shisui calmed down then Naruto explained what happened after he left. Shisui was shocked that the commander took 500 shinobis alone and won. Then he understood why this was the youngest commander. Then Naruto said, "Danzo would be handled by Hokage but I think he will survive the Hokage's wrath. It would be most likely would be done after the meeting with Fugaku. So rest, we need you to be at full health before the meeting, otherwise your genjutsu might not work. Shisui nodded and went to sleep. Naruto flashed away to his home and got down to his boxers and got to his bed and slept. He knows tomorrow would be a hectic day, so he wanted to be prepared. Then the next day he woke up and got in his Anbu gear and went to Hokage office to prepare for the meeting that was being held today. Hokage nodded his head seeing dragon, and they continued their preparation. Half an hour later everything was set and Naruto flashed to his office and saw the stacks of paperwork. He cursed it and he understood why his father would always be busy. Naruto groaned and made 4 shadow clones and started his work. Few minutes passed and there was a knock on his door and he allowed to let them in. Imu poked his head out and saw Commander doing paperwork, then he apologizes if he interrupted anything. Naruto said, "No, come in, I might get few minutes off the paperwork." Then he saw his shadow clones stopped. He said, "Not you all, you do your work." They groaned and continued their work. Itachi chuckled a little and got in the room. He thanked the commander for saving his friends. He nodded and said, "It is my duty as a commander to save. But I know you are here only for that. Am I correct?" Itachi nodded and said, "Indeed, actually it is a bad news. I have learned that Fugaku Uchiha also have Mangekyo Sharingan, so there is a chance might escape Shirsui's genjutsu." Naruto was shocked that Fugaku had Mangekyo but didn't show it. Naruto nodded at the information and dismissed Itachi. Naruto turned to his shadow clones and said, "You do the work, I am going to talk to Hokage." They nodded and Naruto made a shadow clone replace his real self. Then he flashed away to the Hokage's office. He entered without knocking and saw Minato making out with Kushina. As soon as he saw that, he turned 180. Minato saw the commander and blushed and told Kushina that somebody was there. She blushed and moved aside. Minato cleared his throat and asked, "May I ask you, why did you just barged in?" Naruto turned around and saw they were separated. Then he cleared his throat. He said, "I didn't expected you to make out in the office. Anyways, we got a bad news from Imu." This got Minato's full attention. Naruto was going to begin but stopped when he remembered Kushina was here. He glanced at her, then at Minato. He understood what commander is saying and he asked Kushina to leave. Kushina pouted and left and said she would be waiting. Naruto continued, "Imu got the bad news that Fugaku have Mangekyo Sharingan." Minato was shocked that Fugaku had Mangekyo but let Naruto continue. "Imu is saying that there might be a chance that Fugaku broke out of the genjutsu. So we have to make a plan B if he does get out." Minato nodded and they made a plan. Time skip to the meeting. The meeting started and there was Fugaku and the elders, Minato, Naruto, Itachi and Shisui. Minato started the conversation and tried to negotiate with Fugaku, but he can clearly see that it was doing nothing. Then Minato did signal to Shisui to do the plan. Shisui activated his Mangekyo and did the Kodo Amitsukami. As they expected, all the elders was in the genjutsu and Fugaku activated his Mangekyo and broke out. As soon as he got out of the genjutsu, Naruto came behind him and he had his Rinnegan activated and he took out the soul of Fugaku, hence killing him. Itachi and Shisui was shocked that Fugaku was killed. Itachi awakened his Mangekyo and he had tears of blood. Naruto said to Shisui, "Plant the memories that Mikoto would be the new clan leader and erase anything for Ku. They will say Fugaku was unfit for the clan position." Shisui nodded and did the same thing that Naruto told. Naruto looked at the Itachi and said, "There was no other way." Itachi nodded his head. Minato looked at them and said, "This is a SS rank secret, you can't reveal anything what happened in this room. If you do, then your punishment would be death. Is that understood? You can say this to Mikado, she have the right to know." They nodded. Naruto made would clone and he transformed to Fugaku. They left the room as nothing have happened in the room. Fugaku, Naruto, went to home, Itachi's home. Then Mikado called them for dinner and they sat down and started eating and Fugaku nodded his head and Itachi nodded and said, "Mother, me and father want to talk to you." Mikado was confused. Why did they want to talk to her and why didn't Fugaku said anything? She shrugged and they finished their dinner and they went to the room and she sat down and Itachi started, "Mother, as you know, we were trying to do coup against the village." Mikoto was not liking where this was going but let her son continue and she nodded. "We had a meeting to negotiate but the clan elders and father didn't agree, so we had to use force to stop." Itachi stopped to see how his Mothet would react. Mikado looked shocked that they had to use force. Itachi continued to tell what happened today at the meeting and Fugaku transformed back to Naruto. Mikado began to cry because her husband had to die, but she controlled her emotions. Naruto said, "I am sorry for your loss. I honestly can't feel what you are going through, but we had no other chance." She nodded. "Sorry again, but you have to carry more burden because you have be the clan head." Until Itachi is 18-inch, Mikado nodded while sobbing a little. Then the whole Uchiha clan was assembled by the clan leaders and they announced the new leader and said that Fugaku was unfit for leadership and that he have committed suicide last night. They all were shocked at the sudden news that they received. Sasuke began to cry a lot and his Sharingan activated. Everything went smoothly after that. The Uchiha clan had a funeral for Fugaku and they had to move on their life. Mikado now took the seat of clan head and Itachi had his girlfriend Izumi. Naruto teased him every now and then about that. Time skip 5 years. Naruto and Yugao grew closer and did that. Naruto also gave his commander position to Tenzo and retired from Anbu and Yugao became a Anbu captain. Itachi also retired after Izumi and his mother bugging him constantly. Naruto also forgive his family and had good relationships with his siblings. Naruto would also sometimes train Sasuke a bit. Naruto was now an elite Jonin. He was summoned in the Hokage Tower and he don't the reason. He saw Minato and other Jonins there. He understood now what was going on. Minato came there and said, "You all must know why you are here, but even if you don't know you are being assigned to, you all must know why you are here, even if you don't know you are assigned to be a Jonin sensei and lead a team of Genins." Minato said to all the Jonins. The Jonins nodded and soon Minato was giving them their team. Naruto's turn came and Minato said, "Naruto, wait here for Itachi. Then I will give you the team." Naruto was confused as to why he was waiting for Itachi but shrugged it off. After a few minutes Itachi came and greeted them. He asked, "What service do you need from me, Kokage-sama?" Minato nodded and said, "At the academy their odd number of students have passed the exam, so we have one short person to complete the team." Naruto was feeling good listening that but let his dad continue. "So we have decided that we will have our first 5 Genin team. Originally Naruto would be the Jonin sensei, but we consider G can't give everyone enough time, so we have decided that Itachi would also be the Jonin sensei of the team." Itachi nodded and Naruto did the same. They got their Genin's name and they were Sasuke, Menma, Naruto, Hinata and Sai. They took the team profile and left to their home. They read the profiles at their home. After that they went on a double date with their girlfriends. Mizuki incident didn't happen as Mizuki was dead after Minato found out that Mizuki killed a fellow Leaf Ninja. The next day they went at Academy to pick their team up. They entered through the door and Sasuke and the twins shouted, "Nei-san." Both nodded and told them to meet them at roof and Itachi dispersed in murder of crows and Naruto flashed up. Naruto and Itachi when saw the roof of the academy roof they had their own memories of how became a team here. The kids came up and sat at the stairs and Naruto and Itachi leaned on the railing. Naruto started, "Hello everyone, I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and this my friend Itachi Uchiha. We both will be your sensei. Now we will introduce ourselves and tell our likes, dislikes, hobby and goals." Everybody nodded and Sai asked Sensei to go first and they nodded. They said the same as when they were kids but a hobby was added that they were spending time with their girlfriends but didn't said that. Naruto pointed at Sai and he started, "My name is Sai. My likes are drawing and spending time with my brother. Yes, Sai's brother is alive as he didn't join Root. My dislikes are annoying person. My hobby is same as my likes and my goal. I haven't thought about it." They nodded and Hinata started. "Emma, my name I is H. Hinet Hyuga. And my likes are my F family and..." She looked at Menma then covered her face as she was red but she continues, "And my dislikes are H hurting other people. And my hobby I is training, G gardening. And my goal is T2 make B branch and M main family TT together." They nodded and thought that they have to work on Hinata's confidence. Menma started, "My name is Menma Uzumaki Namikaze. My likes are ramen, my family and training. My disguiles are the time to cook the ramen. My hobby is training and spending time with my family. My goal is to become the greatest Hokage." They nodded and Naruto started and she said everything same like Menma. Sasuke started and he was same as Itachi. After the introduction Itachi said, "Okay, now we all know about each other. We have to take a test if you really will be a genin. They all were confused at that, and Naruto said, "But sensei, we already did the genin exams and we became genins." Itachi just scoffed at that. "The academy only passes the students who have the potential to be a genin. We are the one who shows us who can be a team." The team was shocked at that. Itachi continued, "Only 3 teams can pass, so you have a 66% of failing." They more shocked at that information. Naruto was just smirking at their reactions. He said, "Come to training ground 7 at 6 a.m. Plus I suggest you don't want to eat or you might puke it out." He smiled at that and placed a hand on Itachi's shoulder and flashed away to a nearest tree. He wanted to see the reaction of them and check if there is drop of teamwork. The team was sitting there processing the information. Then Menma got up and said, "I don't care about that. I will beat Sasuke team here and I will how great I am." Naruto told Menma to shut up. Hinata said in a low voice, "WESS should work as a team." But nobody heard her. After that, they went back to their home and Naruto and Itachi just shook their heads at that and left. Naruto went home and saw Yugao was there. He asked, "Came early?" SBE nodded at that and threw herself at the bed. "I am exhausted. I was working for 3 days straight." Naruto nodded at that and got on the bed. "Last I remembered you today. Have to see your new team today with Itachi." Naruto nodded but said, "You are exhausted now. I will tell you later about it. Now is the only time we have got, so let's not waste it." Yugao giggles at that. Next day Naruto and Itachi came early. Naruto asked, "What do you think, will they pass?" Itachi said nothing for a few seconds and then said, "I can see potential in this team, but it would be very hard to bring it out." Naruto nodded at that. He said, "Would you take the test?" Itachi nodded at that. After half an hour later all the team came. The team didn't saw Naruto, so Naruto asked, "Where is Naruto-ne-san?" Itachi said, "Don't worry about him because I will take your test. This is a survival test. You will have to take these bells from me and then you will pass. If you all don't pass, then I will tie you to that post and eat your breakfast in front of you." Naruto saw something, asked, "Sensei, there are only three bells." Itachi nodded at that. "Yes, nice observation. Only 3 people would pass and the rest would go back to academy." They were all shocked at that fact. Itachi took out a clock and set to 2 hours and said, "You will have 2 hours to take a bell from me." "Okay now, Joe." Everybody hid except Menma, who charged straight at Itachi. It was same as canon except that Itachi was not reading anything and did the 1,000 years of death at Menma. Itachi then moved to his brother, which also went as canon. Itachi then went to Sai, who the Super Beast scroll, but Itachi dodged the thing and he just one-punched it. He then placed a genjutsu on Sai and he was knocked out. He then moved to Naruto, who was little more aggressive, but Itachi backhanded her and he knocked her out. Then he went to Hinata, whi just stood there, so Itachi put her on genjutsu, showing that Menma was killed and she fainted. Naruto came down from the trees and said, "Aren't you going a little hard on the kids?" Itachi sighed and said, "They don't even the true purpose of the exercise." Naruto nodded at that. Then they both tied both Menma and Hinata at the pole. After a few minutes they all woke up and saw Itachi and Naruto in front of them. Naruto started, "You all failed. You even failed to grasp the true meaning of the test. It was teamwork and I didn't see any of it in you all." They all hang their head low. "But we are giving you a chance now. Eat up and after that we will try it again. But don't feed Menma or Hinata, otherwise you know the consequences." Then Naruto and Itachi shine to the nearest tree and waited for their response. Sasuke did the same thing as canon and feeded Menma, and Naruto feeded Hinata. Naruto and Itachi smiled at that and came near to them and said, "When we told you not to feed them, we were serious. Now what do you want to say about this?" Then Sasuke said, "We are a team, so we will leave our comrade to suffer, and we will take the punishment equally." "Then you all pass," said Naruto, and the team was confused, and Naruto said, "My senpai said a thing that I respected a most. He said that those who break the rules are scum, but who abandon their comrades are worse than a scum." They nodded at that. Itachi said, "So you all are officially Team 7, so meet us at Hokage's tower at 8 a.m. to take your first mission." Then they shine to the Hokage tower to give their reports. The next day came and the team went to Hokage's tower and they were excited to get their first mission, and Itachi and Naruto was smirking the whole time. They remembered the time when they were also excited getting their first mission and how their dreams crumbled away. When the Hokage gave them the mission of cleaning a river, the team's eyes widened and the senseis was enjoying their reactions. The team groaned while cleaning the river and said, "The worst first mission." Naruto tried to cheer them, said, "Don't worry guys, after we complete today's mission then I and Itachi-sensei would train you all." The team got excited and thought they were going to learn some new cool jutsu, but how wrong they were. Itachi smirked seeing their reaction and said to Naruto, "I want to see what type of reaction will they give after you train them." Naruto said, "Hey, what do you mean? I just train everybody hard because I want them to be strong." Itachi just whispered, but Naruto heard that, "It is just an excuse because you enjoy torturing them." Naruto just glared at him and he shrugged it off. Naruto said, "I am technically still a level higher than you know. I can still order you around, so I might let you go through my training." He smirked at that. Yes, Itachi is only Jonin. You might say that is not possible, but Itachi only asked to be a Jonin as he wanted to spend his time with his girlfriend. Naruto became an elite Jonin because Yugao is mostly out because of her Anbu work. So he didn't want it to be bored, so he would take missions. Itachi paled at that comment. He didn't said anything after that and Naruto was satisfied with that. When they were done with their mission, they thought they were going to learn something, but they went through hell. They had to do 200 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and they had to do while wearing weights. Naruto also did in front of them to encourage them. After 3 hours, they were finally finished and they were panting very hard. They thought, never ask Naruto-sensei/Nae-san for training. Naruto said, "Wanna do more training?" They shook head, refusing the offer. Naruto just shrugged it off and went home. The next month went and the team did 40D ranks. Naruto would physically train them while Itachi taught them how to control their chakra. He taught them leaf-sticking exercise, kunai balancing, tree walking, and water walking. The next time when they went to Hokage requesting a mission, the team asked the Hokage to give them a higher rank mission. Hokage looked at Itachi and Naruto and they both nodded. Then Minato said, "Okay, I have C rank mission for you all luckily." Then he said his Anbu to bring Tazuna. Tazuna entered the room and the whole room was filled with a scent of liquor. The team held their breath as to not smell it. Naruto, Itachi, and Minato was not affected by it. Tazuna said, "Okay, this the team. You all will meet tomorrow at your gate, then we would leave to the land of waves." They nodded at that. Tazuna didn't roast them because they had numbers, plus the team was decent and Naruto and Itachi looked a capable ninja. Minato asked Naruto and Itachi to wait here. They nodded at that and told the team to pack their stuff for 2 weeks and the team left. Minato said, "I think Tazuna is lying about the rank of this mission as I could see the nervousness in his eyes when he gave the rank of the mission, so I am sending your team as you both can handle the mission and we want to get resources from Wave. Ask Tazuna to give the team money according to the mission rank after the mission over. If he can't give, don't worry about it." They both nodded and left to pack their things. I think it was foolish of Hiruzen that he did not see Tazuna's trick. He is freaking Hokage and he have lived through 3 wars, so he should have looked the underneath of it. The next day they left the village and headed to the land of waves. They were walking and Naruto asked, "Tazuna-san, don't land of waves have ninjas?" Tazuna was going to explain it, but Itachi said, "No Naruto, the land of waves don't have ninjas because small villages can't handle the expense of being a ninja. The village also don't have anyone to train them." Naruto nodded at that. Then they all saw a puddle in between of their road. All the team see through the genjutsu and the demon brothers came out of the puddle and attacked. Sasuke did the same thing as Kanon while the rest were guarding the client. Naruto and Itachi didn't do anything because they wanted to see what their students would in the situation. Naruto caught second demon brother and placed a truth seal on him. He killed the second one in front of everyone. All the team puked except Sai and Itachi. He asked the normal questions like, "Who sent you here? Who was your target?" The first demon brother said all the truth because of the truth seal. Then Naruto turned to Tazuna and asked, "What are you hiding?" Then Tazuna started to stutter and then calmed down and said how the wave is poor village and they couldn't offer it for more than a C rank mission, and if they want to leave then they can. Then Naruto said, "You were already suspicious to Hokage, so he sent us to help if anything goes wrong, so I say we will not continue." How you thought they were going to continue the mission, but I changed the timeline of it. Don't get offended by these jokes, I add them to spice the things up as the story is always a little dark. We will continue. Tazuna sighed in relief and they moved forward on their journey. They got on boat and went to waves and they got to the land. They saw that there was thick mist here and Tazuna said, "Mist is usual here in the wave. Then they heard rustling in bushes and Sasuke threw a kunai at the bush and a white rabbit came out. Itachi and Naruto saw this and thought it was substitution jutsu and they yelled, "Duck!" Everybody ducked and Naruto took Tazuna down with him. The sword flied above their head and got stuck on the bark of a tree. A man came and was standing at the handle of it. He turned around and saw two people that shocked him. The team got up and Itachi and Naruto saw the person on the handle. They told the kids to go back and protect Tazuna and they did just that. I didn't thought I would two best ninjas from Konoha here. Uchiha Itachi from Leaf and the Dragon God here. Naruto said, "We also didn't expect the D-dash. Cliffhanger no jutsu." Naruto said, "We also didn't expect it to see the demon of the mist here." Zabuza was not showing any fear outside, but inside he was cursing Gato and himself for accepting the mission. "Zabuza, we are two and you are alone. I suggest you surrender, otherwise we have to battle and you know that you will not win." Zabuza gritted his teeth and had to accept that he can't defeat them. Zabuza then said, "I will not go out without a fight, and if I die I will not regret it." Naruto just smirked at that. Naruto took out his katana and he said to Itachi, "Itachi, protect the client," and the kids from the Nin hidden in the trees. Haku was shocked that Naruto sensed him but knew that he was a sensory type too. Zabuza was angry that his backup have already failed. Naruto said to Zabuza, "You know, once my mother single-handedly defeated the 7 swordsmen of the mist." Naruto started to poke Zabuza and break his mental state to easily defeat him. It worked and Zabuza started to swing his sword randomly. Naruto just used a thing that he mastered recently. The surrounding around Naruto slowed down and blistered Zabuza and did multiple slashes around his body. Zabuza puked blood but got on his stances and thought that he picked a fight with a wrong guy. Naruto turned around and smiled seeing that Zabuza wasn't dead and he was ready for another round. The time slowed down again. Naruto walked to Zabuza and did the slash of hell that he created a year ago. In this, the katana of Naruto would have Kurama's chakra and he would hit his opponent on its weak points and the chakra of Kurama would enter the opponent's body and started to slowly eat it as they can't handle a Bijuu's chakra and they would feel it. Zabuza started screaming from the pain he is feeling. Haku saw this and tried to rush towards Zabuza but Itachi put him on Genjutsu and knocked him out. Naruto left from the ground after he cut Zabuza's head off because he wanted the bounty on Zabuza's head. He sealed it on a scroll. They left to Tazuna's house and throughout the whole way Team 7 was saying how Naruto was so badass and can he teach them the move. Naruto said, "Sorry, you can't learn my move as it requires a special type of chakra and you all don't have it." The team sighed at that. Naruto said, "But instead I can teach you all a jutsu." Their eyes lit up at that. They reached the house and Tazuna knocked the door and Tsunami opened the door and saw her father. She hugged and said how happy she is that her father was alive. Tazuna said to Tsunami to thank the ninjas that saved his life. Tsunami thanked them and they entered. Then Naruto said to his team, "Okay team, today we all will take rest and tomorrow we will start our training. So get refreshed and come down for lunch and dinner at time, otherwise I will drag you down here without your consent." The team nodded at that. Sasuke, Sai and Menma would sleep in a room and Naruto and Hinata in other. Naruto and Tsunami would be in a room. Ha thought it was Itachi but no, Tsunami was there and you know they did. Just kidding, Naruto is loyal and he is with Itachi in a room. That day when they went to do their dinner, Inari started shouting at the ninjas at how they will die and how they lived a lavish life. Naruto just shrugged it off and Inari was not happy with that and he went off to his room. Naruto that night went to the room of Inari and explained how his parents neglected him, but then also he forgave them. He said a thing to Inari which broke him. He said, "Life is not easy for everyone. Some live bad life, then some not. You can't blame them all. As for your father, he was hero of the wave and you should also try to be a hero, not just complain about it. Your father would not want that you would just cry over his death, so try to lessen your pain by opening up to your family and make friends." Inari understood what Naruto wanted to say and he nodded at that and Naruto just smiled at that. The next day Naruto started to teach Sasuke, Naruto and Menma the lighting style, lighting bullet. He taught Hinata water style, water wall. He taught Sai earth style, headhunter jutsu. They all learned the jutsu in a week. Naruto also made shadow clones for Tazuna to finish the bridge faster. The last day came when the bridge was about to be completed. Gato came there. Gato said, "While I thank you for killing that Zabuza, for me I can't because you are making it difficult for me to finish if Tazuna here. So guys, come out and show them what we have got." Then 2 thugs came out holding Tsunami and Inari as hostage. Tazuna went on his knees seeing his family in danger. Naruto just activated his swift realce and killed the thugs and went back to his place. Gato was shocked seeing that, but he told his men to attack them. The thugs rushed at the team and Itachi said he would handle it and Naruto just shrugged at that. Naruto told to his team, "Close your eyes or you might puke." But team didn't listen to him and saw Itachi slaughtered the thugs. They instantly puked after seeing that and Naruto said in low tone, "Told you." He then walked towards Gato and Gato was sweating bullets and he tried to run but Naruto caught him and lifted him through his suit and said, "Your rule at wave is over, Gato." Then he killed him. Naruto did hand signs and did a fire jutsu to burn the bodies at the bridge. Naruto then saw Haku there and as he asked, "Are you here to take revenge for Zabuza?" Haku shook his head and he said, "As much as I want to kill you, I know I can't do that. I was here for Gato as he was not gonna pay us after the mission and because of that Zabuza-sama died." Naruto nodded at that and showed him the head of Gato and he saw that and left. Naruto just shrugged it off and went to Tazuna and said, "The rule of Gato is now over. Tazuna, now can you give us the extra money of the mission as you can offer that?" Tazuna nodded at that. They finished the bridge and the name of the bridge was the Great Naruto Bridge. The team left for the village and they were saying how they did nothing on the mission. Then Itachi said, "It's okay to do nothing if the thing is already taken care of. Plus you all couldn't win against them anyways and you all might get injured for life or be dead." They all just gulped hearing that and nodded their head. Naruto said to his team, "You all have to start training hard because in the ninja world surprise attacks can happen anytime and they have to prepare for that." The team nodded at that. Naruto also wanted them to be ready for the Chunin exams. They reached the day after and the team gave the report the mission to Hokage. Naruto also gave the head of Zabuza to Minato and Minato said, he will give the money of the bounty later and Naruto nodded at that. The next day both Naruto and Itachi went to the meeting room and saw all the Jonins there. Minato came there and said, "As you all must know, the Chunin exams are coming near. So we are here to nominate the Genins who will participate in the exams." They nodded at that. Then Minato started the nomination and Guy stepped forward and said, "I want to nominate Team Guy which have Rock Lee, Niji Hyuga and Tenten." Minato nodded at that and waved to Kurenai. She stepped forward and said, "I want to nominate Team 8 which have Shino Aburame, Sakura Haruno and Kiba Inuzuka." Minato nodded at that and waved at Asuma. Asuma stepped forward and said, "I want to nominate Team 10 which have Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanka and Choji Akachimi." Minato nodded at that and waved at Naruto and Itachi. Itachi stepped forward and said, "We want to nominate Team 7 which consists of Sasuke Uchiha, Menma Uzumaki Namikaze, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Hinata Hyuga and Sai." The rest of the Jonins gasped in shock. They were shocked because this year all the rookies are recommended to participate in the Chunin exams. Minato nodded at that and they continued on. The next day Naruto asked the team to meet him at the training ground 7. The team was late and Naruto started to search for them and found them with a team from Suna. Half an hour earlier, Menma and the team came out of the ramen shop. Then Menma saw a square-shaped rock following him. He said to the rock, "Konohamaru, there is no square-shaped rock." Konohamaru from inside the box said, "That's what I expected from you, boss." Then there was a small explosion and Konohamaru was saying to his friend that the gunpowder was too much. Then Konohamaru asked Menma will he play ninja with them but he refused. Sakura came saying how ninja can play ninja. Then Konohamaru said, "It is none of your business, ugly." Sakura got mad and started chasing him and Konohamaru bumped into Kankuro and he lifted Konohamaru from the ground and said how dare he to bump into him. Tamari tried to calm down her brother but he said that he must teach the brat some manner. Sakura left seeing that and Menma came there and tried to stop the situation but had no luck. Sasuke then threw a stone at Kankuro's hand and he dropped Konohamaru. Konohamaru run behind Menma's leg to take cover. Tamari blushed seeing Sasuke and thought he is hot. Then the whole Team 7 came there seeing the commotion. Gaara's voice came from the tree he was on. He said how Kankuro was a disappointment for Suna and Kankuro apologizes to Gaara. Gaara came down and Sasuke was thinking how he didn't sense Gaara. Then Gaara introduced himself to Sasuke and asked Sasuke to introduce himself. Sasuke introduced himself to Gaara and then Naruto came there. Now back to the present. Naruto saw Gaara standing there and he can feel some Biju's chakra. Then he understood that Gaara was Shikaku's Jinchuriki. Then he told his team that they were late and they nodded and left. Then Naruto explained to them that they are now nominated in Chunin exams. They all were excited hearing that. Then Naruto told them to not fight Gaara but didn't explain why. Naruto was talking with Kurama saying, "Kurama, I think Suna is planning something as they don't usually want to send their unstable Jinchuriki here. If he do anything I will kill him." Kurama agreed with Naruto and he said, "Shikaku is crazy as he makes his Jinchuriki crazy too, so I agree on the plan that kills him." Naruto nodded at that. After a few minutes the team came to the training ground and saw both sensei there. Naruto saw them and started, "By now you all must know that Chunin exams are coming up." They nodded at that and Naruto was just smirking and he continued, "Somi and Itachi here decided that this year you all will." The team was waiting in anticipation. "Will not enter it." The team was silent, then everyone screamed, "What?" except for Sai. Itachi just smiled knowing that Naruto was just pulling their legs. Then they started screaming how they bear the best and they would annihilate everyone in the exams and they should reconsider their opinions. Naruto couldn't hold it anymore and burst out laughing while some tears was leaving his eyes. The team was confused and thought that Sensei was mocking them. They were about to scream at him, but he said, "I was just kidding. I wanted to see the reactions of you all. You all are entering the exams and we know that you are powerful enough to enter the exam. If you want to come sign these papers." Giving them the entrance slip. They nodded at that and signed them and give them back to Naruto. Naruto took and said, "Nice, you all wanted in your will to participate. If you all haven't, then you all couldn't enter the exam and we didn't want you all to force each other on entering. So you all shall go to the academy at 8 a.m. and to room 301. They nodded at that and Naruto and Itachi left. Naruto asked Itachi, "Itachi, do you think they would win?" Itachi thought a bit and said, "I am sure of Menma, Naruto, Sasuke because they are willing to push beyond their limit to achieve their goals. Where else Hinata, she is a little too reserved and try not to hurt anyone, and as for Sai, he is depending on his ink jutsu only. While this is okay, his taijutsu is weak." Naruto nodded at that and they entered the Hokage office and gave Minato the slips and left. Then they went back to their home and Naruto was happy seeing Yugao there. Yugao started, "Hey babe, I learned that your team is entering the Chunin exams. Are they ready?" Naruto just smiled and said, "You'll see soon enough. Now let's have some fun." Then he started kissing her and took her to the bedroom while she was giggling at how desperate her boyfriend was. The next day came and Team 7 went to the academy. They entered the building and started to climb the stairs. After climbing the stairs, they saw two Chunins blocking the door and a boy trying to enter. He had green spandex on and had a bowl-haired cut and had bushy eyebrows. Then Sasuke and Hinata noticed the genjutsu put on the room. Sasuke smirked and moved forward and said, "Who are you fooling with that weak genjutsu?" The Chunins turned their heads and saw the Uchiha. They said, "Oh, someone noticed how sweet, but you look weak." Sasuke got angry and rushed to attack and the Chunin did the same, but they were stopped by that guy with the green spandex. Sasuke thought, "The boy stopped my kick without any effort." Then a girl said, "Lee, you said we should be undercover and now you here bust or cover." The boy, now identified as Rock Lee, said, "Sorry Tenten, I couldn't help it." Then Neji saw the Sasuke and walked towards him and asked, "Sasuke Uchiha, the rookie of the year after I left." Sasuke's eyes shifted to the Hyuga. He then said, "It is not nice having others' name before introducing yourself. I know it is something else, but deal with it." Neji Hyuga, I am the last year's rookie of the year, and I know you two are the prodigy of Uchiha, but nothing compared to me as fate is on my side. Sasuke just nodded dumbly at that. He didn't understand anything about the fate Neji was talking about. The Team 7 left. At a hall while they were walking to the exam room, they were stopped by none other than Lee, who challenged Sasuke for a fight and said, "I want to prove that hard work can beat prodigy." Menma was fed up that everyone is only focusing on Sasuke, so he just ran straight at Lee and tried to punch him, but Lee just sweeped his leg and threw him back at the wall. Then he get in his stance and motioned Sasuke to come, but Sasuke said, "Sorry, but we don't have time to spar. We could do this in the exams anyway so people can see, so let me take the dobe and go." Lee was sad that he can't fight but accepted it nonetheless and let Sasuke take Menma out of there. Menma was screaming that he would be the best and that all. Then the team entered the room and was met by the killer intent from the teams, but the team shrugged it off. "Sasuke!" A loud noise was made by none other than Sasuke's fangirls Ino and Sakura. Everyone in the room winced at that and Ino and Sakura jumped on Sasuke. He was irritated and was just about to tell them to leave him alone. But a puff of smoke disturbed them and Ipki came out of it and said, "All right brats, sit down on your seats and we will distribute the test. There are some rules you all have to follow." All of them sat down on the seat they were given. Then Ipki started explaining the rules. There are 10 questions, but the 10th question will be given at the end and each question have 1 mark. If you get caught cheating 5 times, you and your team would be out. You all will have 1 hour and the exam starts now. All the team quickly got to the work. Hinata started writing as she knew all the answers. Sai also knew it as Danzo would have given him the knowledge earlier. Sasuke would use his Sharingan to copy the Chunin's answer. There were some Chunins seated there who knew the answers. Menma just didn't knew Amy answers, so he sat there holding his head. Naruto used mirror she bought to copy the answers. Some people were caught cheating and sent out with their teams. After the hour was over, Ipki said the time was over and everyone stopped writing. Now everyone, you would be given the 10th question, but you will have the choice not to answer it. Everyone was confused and asked why would they choose not to answer it. It is because if choose to answer the 10th question and got it wrong, then you can never take Chunin exams. Then uproar was coming from the genin saying it was not right. Then Sakura asked, all previous examens are the exams more than 1 time. Ipki said, it is your bad luck that I am your proctor for the first round because in here I can make any rule I want. So some of the teams left and some were ready to answer the question. Ipki saw that no one else was leaving, so he said, you all pass. Everyone was confused and started asking questions. Ipki was going to answer that, but a window and came a banner in which it was written sexy and single Anko Mitrashur proctor of the 2nd exam. And a woman. She had purple hair and was wearing coat and fishnet shirt beneath it. Every male population was dazed by Anko's arrival. Ipki said, you are early. She just shrugged and saw the number of teams left and said, my Ipki, you let so many teams pass, you are getting old. Ipki got a tick mark on his head but didn't comment about it. Alright maggots, meet me at training ground 44 at 8 AM tomorrow, and who all don't come at time would be disqualified. Then she left. The next day Team 7 came to training ground 44 and saw the teams from different villages and the proctor of this round, Anko. Alright maggots, welcome to training ground 44, also known as the Forest of Death. The teams gulped at that. Listen to me closely, I will not repeat it again. In this round you have 2 scrolls, first is heaven and second is earth. While showing them the scrolls and they nodded. Your team will be given one of the scroll and you have to fight the other teams for the scroll that you don't have and maybe kill them. While licking her lips and sent shivers through some of the genins. When you collect both of the scrolls you will have to go to tower in the middle and your exam is over, but remember this, do not open the scroll before you reach the tower or you have both or else. Everybody tensed at that and was waiting for her to continue, but she didn't. Anyways, you all have to fill up this form. This form says that Konoha would not be held responsible if any of you get killed. When you are finished filling up the paper you will to the tent there and give them the paper and they will give your team the scroll. Then she saw Menma not paying any attention to her, then she threw a kunai and it cut the cheek of Menma and body flickered behind him and licked the blood that was coming out. You better pay attention to me when I am saying something. Menma nodded quickly at that. Then she sensed someone behind her, then she took out the kunai and turned around to see a grass genin holding the kunai she threw with a tongue. I was just giving you back your kunai, Proctor-san. Anko took the kunai and said, that's okay, but don't do it next time, otherwise you might be lying dead. Then she started to distribute the paper and soon everyone got their scroll, but when Team 7 entered the tent they were told that they have to collect 2 pairs of the scroll as they were almost 2 team in 1. They nodded and left with a earth scroll. They went to the gate number that they were assigned to. After some minutes the buzzer went off and the gate opened and the team rushed in. They have formulated a plan that they were going straight towards the tower, as when the teams with the pair of scroll then they can attack them and take the scroll, and because they will not need to waste any time on reaching the tower. While rushing, Menma told the team that he have to go leak somewhere and rushed out somewhere. Sasuke shook his head at the antics of Menma. While Menma finished leaking he was attacked by a very large snake and swollen by it. Then Menma did a lightning style. Lightning bullet and shocked the inside out of the snake and it opened its mouth and Menma walked out drenched in the snake's saliva and he was irritated by this and he muttered, stupid snake. And went off to search for his team, but he couldn't see that the snake puffed out. Few minutes earlier. While Menma went to leak, the team waited for him and set a temporary camp. They were discussing the traps they would set when they would reach near the tower. Then at that moment a snake attacked their camp, but luckily Naruto sensed it and told the team and they spread out. When they can see the snake properly they saw a person standing at top of it. It was the grass genin that had a freaky long tongue, and now she was using it to lick her lips. This freaked out most of the Team 7 and she said, "Ku, what do we have here? I was looking for you, Sasuke, and now show me how that Sharingan works of yours." Sasuke was weirded out by this and said, "Sorry pedo, I'm not interested in you." The genin got a tick mark, but she thought, "I have to take care of the rest of the team if I have to give curse mark to Sasuke." Then the snake went to attack to the rest of the team and the grass genin went to Sasuke to do a taijutsu battle. Sasuke got in his interceptor fist style and rushed towards the grass genin. The genin easily blocked or dodged each punch or kick that was launched towards her. She counter-attacked one of the punches that were launched by Sasuke and sent Sasuke flying. Then Sasuke activated his Sharingan and the grass genin licked her lips and did a motion gesturing to come. Sasuke rushed in without thinking and got his ass handed to him. While the Naruto killed the snake that was attacking them and rushed towards Sasuke to save him. Sasuke got terrified of this and said, "You want the scroll, right? Then take it and leave." Sasuke took out the scroll from his kunai pouch and threw at the grass genin, but while it was in air it was caught by Menma and he landed. "You fool, why didn't you let him go? We will be saved from him." Menma just glared at him and said, "You're not the Sasuke team I knew, he would never get scared, so let's just kick this guy's ass." Menma rushed at Orochimaru while Sasuke was standing there stunned and fighting his inner self and he was thinking, why isn't my body responding to me? After watching Menma taking injuries and still going on, he got the courage to move and he started following Menma and said, "Dobe, let's put an end to this quickly." Menma nodded and they both rushed in quickly. Menma and Sasuke started to attack Orochimaru but he dodged it. Orochimaru backhanded Menma and sent him flying and he sent a snake to pin him down. He then started a taijutsu battle with Sasuke and was a one-sided match and he started to beat on Sasuke. Sasuke gritted his teeth and now he have two tomos on both on his eyes and Orochimaru saw this and kicked his lips. "Kukoku, you have evolved your Sharingan. You have now one step closer to defeat your brother." Sasuke's eyes widened at that. How Orochimaru just chuckled at that. "I have my ways. So I want to help you in this, so I am going to give you a gift." Then he stretched his neck and bit Sasuke on his neck. Sasuke started to scream and holding his part of neck where Orochimaru bit him. Sasuke fell down. Orochimaru reiterated his head back. Then he saw Menma coming out of the crater. Menma saw Sasuke falling and he rushed towards him and caught him before he could fall. Sasuke was unconscious and Menma was keeping asking what happened to him. Then his head snapped towards Orochimaru and he asked/shouted, "What did you do with Sasuke?" Orochimaru just said, "I gave him a gift and he will come out seeking for power to surpass his brother." Then he turned to Menma and threw the heaven scroll, then turned into mud and sinked in earth. Menma catches the scroll and at that time the whole team as the snake puffed out. Naruto saw Sasuke unconscious in Menma's lap. She rushed to him and bent down to check if Sasuke was injured or not, but found none. Then she asked what happened here. Menma then explained to her how he and Sasuke fought that guy and lost. Then he was thrown into a crater, and after he recovered he could see Sasuke screaming and after that he fell unconscious. Then he said that how the guy said it was some type of gift and he gave his heaven scroll. The team was confused at that, but they had another problem at hand. They took Sasuke to a nearby cave and set up their camp there. They also set up some traps for caution. "It is nice that guy gave us his scroll, now we have one pair. We have to focus on making on how to obtain our second pair," said Naruto and the team nodded. While the team was discussing, Hinata saw a squirrel but she felt something wrong so she activated Byakugan and saw that the squirrel had a paper bomb on its back. She threw a kunai to stop the running squirrel and then she walked towards it. Then she ripped the tag out and threw where she saw the sound team. It exploded near them but managed to dodge it. "See, I told you both that it would not work and now our cover is blown," said one of the three. "Who are you?" asked Naruto and she took out a kunai. "Oh, what do we have here? You are a brave one, ain't you?" "Oh, whatever, we are Zaku, Dosu, Kin and we are from the Sound Village." "Sound Village? We have never heard of it." Naruto said, "Well, it's not important, we are here to kill that Uchiha. Step aside, we will kill that Uchiha and go on our own way," Zaku said. Menma was so frustrated at that so he shouted at the sound team, "We will never abandon our friend and comrades." "Well, it's your loss, we will kill you then the Uchiha," Dosu said. Then Menma smiled and said, "We outnumber you. Even if you trash outnumber us by 100 we will still win," said Zaku. Menma and Naruto smiled and did cross hand sign and shouted Shadow Clone Jutsu. Then 50 clones of Menma and 50 of Naruto. But to the shock of Team 7, the sound team was not affected at the amount. Then Dosu raised and fired some wave which destroyed almost 50 of the shadow clones. They were shocked at that, but Naruto said, "Let's split, okay? Sai and Hinata would fight that girl. Menma would fight the other guy and I will handle the leader of them. Once you are finished, help other." They nodded and splitted and started to attack the enemy which they were allotted. Hinata and Sai had a little easy time as Sai was out of the range of Kin's Genjutsu and was summoning Animal to help Hinata and distract the opponent. Hinata with her Byakugan saw right through Kin's Genjutsu as it was not that high level. So she started to disrupt Kin's chakra flow and beat her with a chop to a neck. Menma summoned clones and distracted Zaku with while he was doing hand signs, then he did lightning style. Lightning ball. Zaku saw this and sent a sound wave which dispersed it. Menma was shocked at that and asked how. Then Zaku explained that sound travels through a medium and for now it is wind and wind mostly nullifies lighting, that is why. Menma was shocked at that and he didn't think about it. Zaku was going to launch another attack but an animal stopped him and Hinata came behind him and shut down his chakra flow and it rendered him unconscious. Naruto was going to attack the Dosu guy but an evil wave of chakra spread throughout the area. Everybody gulped at that and Naruto thought, this is coming from where Sasuke is. Then she turned around and saw Sasuke rising, but there's something not right about him. He had some purple chakra around him and he had some black tattoos around body and it is coming from neck where that mark is. Sasuke saw Dosu about to attack Naruto but he blissed Dosu and caught Dosu with his throat in his hand and started to squeeze it. Naruto saw this and told Sasuke Yodo stop, but he didn't, and he said but in a monotone voice, "They were attacking you and they now have to pay." He was about to crush it, but Naruto hugged him from behind and said, "This is not who you are. Stop this, Sasuke, now. Please." After hearing that, Sasuke's curse seal began to retreat and he threw Dosu away. Dosu crashed at a tree and he coughed out blood and he said, "Please let us leave, we will go and not trouble you all. Take this and let us leave." He then threw a earth scroll at them. Sasuke caught it and nodded at him and he took Zaku and Kin and left. Then the whole team left and start to head towards the tower. While they were going, Sasuke noticed while hoping through the trees that they were moving in circles, so he asked Hinata to activate her Byakugan as he can feel burning sensation if he uses his chakra. She nodded and activated Byakugan and saw that it was a Genjutsu and she told the team, "We didn't think you would notice. Oh well, now hand over your scroll, otherwise we would kill you all." Sasuke scoffed at that. The rain ninjas got angry at that, so they attacked. Hyatt saw that this was another Genjutsu and told the team the real locations of the three. The three panicked at that and team took advantage at that and defeated them easily, and luckily the team had an earth scroll which they needed to pass. They celebrated for that a little bit but decided that they need rest, so they moved fast to the tower. They reached the tower on the third day and they opened the scrolls and there was Puff and there came Naruto and Itachi. There was Puff and Naruto and Itachi was there. Naruto said, "Congratulations on passing round 2 of Chunin exams. We are both proud of you all. You all growing up so fast." Then Naruto started to have anime tears flowing down his cheeks and everyone's sweat dropped at that. Then Itachi saw the curse mark on Sasuke's neck and he nudged Naruto and pointed at the curse mark. When Naruto saw the curse mark, he got serious. Then he asked Sasuke, "How did you got that?" Pointing at the curse mark. Sasuke sighed and put his hand on the curse mark and said, "I actually don't know how to explain it." But Menma started to explain that there was Jonin from grass that attacked them. He could summon snakes and he defeated the team easily. Then he bit Sasuke on the neck and after that there was a mark there and Sasuke got knocked out after that. When Sasuke woke up, his whole body was covered up with some black tattoos which was coming from that mark and had purple chakra around and he was very cold and dark. Naruto and Itachi nodded at the information, then Itachi whispered something in Naruto's ear and Naruto nodded. "Sasuke, we have to take care of that because it can cause a lot of problems." Sasuke nodded but he was a little bit hesitant and Naruto saw that. "Sasuke, I know how tempting it is but it is no good and it will cause a lot of problems. Plus you can never have a shortcut to achieve power." Sasuke nodded at that and Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder and body flickered to a room. Naruto told Sasuke to sit down on the ground and he did. "Sasuke, it will hurt a lot so try to keep up. You will be unconscious for a whole day, after that you will be recovered." Sasuke nodded at that. Naruto activated his Rinnegan and Sasuke saw that and he was going to ask what it is, but before Naruto placed on the curse mark and activated his human path. He saw the foul soul in the mark and he started to pull it. Sasuke started to scream at the pain he felt by what Naruto was doing. Naruto then pulled out the Orochimaru's soul out and absorbed it. Then he got the all information that Orochimaru had. He saw the memories of the disgusting experiments he did. The memories of the invasion he is planning and how he is trying to get the Sands' help. The memories of the hideouts he have all around the shinobi nations. The memories of Sound for their strength and weaknesses and how Kabuto Yakushi, the head medic, is working with him. The memories of Orochimaru ordering the Sound team to attack and kill Sasuke, and the memories of the fight between Orochimaru and Sasuke, and the how he would take over Sasuke's body. Naruto held his head for a few seconds, and at that moment Sasuke collapsed on the ground. Naruto turned around and said, "You know you can't sneak up on me, Orochimaru." Then Naruto heard clapping sounds coming. "Not that, you fool. Kukuku, I knew I can't sneak up on you." "Then what are you doing here?" Naruto asked, and he have hands raised and Rinnegan was being formed. "Kukuku, I am not here to fight. I am here to see what you are doing with my next body. You will never ever lay a hand on Sasuke, and he will not be your next body because I know it," Naruto said. Orochimaru turned around and started walking and said, "Keep him safe for me." "Fuck you," Naruto shouted, and Orochimaru vanished in thin air. Naruto picked up Sasuke and body flickered to the room that Team 7 was assigned and tucked Sasuke in the bed. Then he flashed away to Itachi and explained how the removal of curse mark went. Then Itachi said, "Okay, thanks man." Then Naruto flashed away and came in Hokage's office and saw his father and mother making out. Ahem, Naruto faked coughed and got the attention of his parents. They jumped aside and had blush on their faces. Minato cleared his throat to get rid of embarrassment. Naruto said, "I hope you both don't give me baby brother or sister when I am an adult." Minato and Kushina have massive blushes on their faces and nodded. "Back to the point why I came here." Then Naruto explained to Minato how Team 7 was attacked by Orochimaru and Sasuke was given the curse mark. Minato and Kushina were shocked at that and wanted to rush at the moment to contain the seal, but Naruto stopped them. Then he explained that Itachi gave him the idea to use the Rinnegan power and take out the soul of Orochimaru from the curse mark, and Naruto did the same thing. Minato then shouted, "You fool, what would have happened if you by mistake took Sasuke's soul?" Naruto nodded at that and said, "I know it was a gamble, but when I saw the curse mark on Sasuke's neck it was different from Anko one. Anko's curse mark was incomplete, and if tried to rip Orochimaru's soul out of it, it might take Anko with its, and Itachi noticed this too, that is why he told me to do this." Minato nodded in understanding the situation. Then Naruto told them when he received the memories of it was a little bit hazy as it was not his full soul, but then he explained the fact that Orochimaru is going to invade the leaf with Sand by their side. Minato and Kushina both were shocked at that, and Minato said, "Sand was our ally, but when the Wind Demo started giving us the mission of the Sand they were very ecstatic, so now understand why they might attack us. That is very important information for us, we should start considering it." Both Kushina and Naruto nodded at that. Then Minato and Naruto started to discuss their strategies for the upcoming invasion that was being targeting on them. They discussed that Naruto would place barrier seals on the clan compounds, hospital, academy, and the Hokage Tower. Minato pointed out that Orochimaru might use the snake summoning to cause havoc, but Naruto said that he could summon his dragons to deal with it. Then Naruto said, "Dad, there is unstable Jinchuriki here, so I say I will handle it with Kurama." Minato nodded at that, and then they discussed that they will relay the information of invasion to only Jonins, as the Chunins and Genins might panic at the information of invasion. Minato called a meeting with all the Anbus and told it was secret meeting. Then he told her discussed with the Anbu head the strategies he have discussed with Naruto. Then all the Anbus were dismissed. Yugao went back home and saw Naruto there, and she wrapped her arms around and put her head on his shoulder. Naruto also wrapped his hands around. They sat there with a comfortable silence for a few minutes. Then Naruto broke the silence and asked, "Now you must know that there is going to be an invasion." She nodded at that. "I know you are going to patrol around the village, so promise me. You are going to be safe." Yugao looked at him and she said, "I promise." Then Naruto turned her around and started to give her a massage, and Yugao moaned at the stress that was taken off her shoulder by the massage given by Naruto. "Yugao, after this invasion you can quit the Anbu. I think you are always stressed out after the mission, and I don't want to lose you." Yugao turned and looked Naruto in his eyes and saw the love, care, and concern in his eyes, and it eventually melted her heart, and she nodded and Naruto kissed her, and they started to make out. The next day Naruto went back to the tower as today the round 2 was officially over. Naruto met Itachi on the way and they made their way to the tower. When they saw their team, they were pretty much healed from the injuries they got from Orochimaru. Then Naruto saw the number of members that passed the round and said to his team, "Unfortunately for you guys, a lot of team have passed, so you might have to do the preliminary rounds to cut down the Jonins." Then Naruto and Menma shouted, "Hey, it's unfair." Naruto patted them on their heads and said, "In this ninja world, everything is unfair, so you have to get used to this." And Menma and Naruto pouted and Naruto just chuckled at that. Then every Jonin team was called down and then Minato started his speech how the Chunin exams are to show that a village have potential and blah blah. I don't care. Then Minato announced that there was too many Jonin and he didn't expect it, that so he have set a preliminary round because he don't want the final round take hours to complete. The Jonin started to complain about it, but Minato told them to be quiet. Then he was going to explain the preliminary round rules, but Hayate asked if he can do it and Minato agreed and told Hayate to continue where he left off. Hayate nodded at that. "Hello everyone, I am the *** of this round. My name is Hayate Gecko." Most of the Jonins thought that he was very sick. There is a board *** up there *** it will choose random Jonins and you have to fight. The rules are that the match will end if the player is dead or unconscious and if I stop the match you to stop it. Is it understood? All the teams nodded at that. Now anyone who wanna quit here. Then Kabuto raised his hand and said, "I can't fight. My chakra is nearly empty and I don't have any more stamina." Hayate narrowed his eyes at Kabuto and thought, his chakra is nearly full but he is quieting. I have to track him. Then Hayate nodded. Kabuto left and Hayate asked, "Anyone else who want to leave?" But none did and Hayate nodded and the board started and picked up random names. It was Sasuke versus Minion Yoroi. Then Hayate told the rest of Jonins to move up the stairs and to watch the match and wait for their turn, and they did it. Sasuke had cocky smirk and he said, "You are honored to fight in Uchiha. I will end it in a flash because you can't defeat me, as in Uchiha can only defeat a Uchiha." Naruto sighed at that and said to Itachi, "He have his stick up his ass like other Uchihas. I suggest that you take care of that, otherwise it might come and bite on your ass." Then Naruto chuckled at the reaction that Itachi gave. Itachi got a tick mark and he scowled at Naruto. Naruto said, "It is right, Itachi helped Sasuke get out of it, otherwise his power might get to his head and he might get killed." Itachi nodded at and they watched Sasuke beat Yoroi easily. Yoroi's hand started to glow and he leaped towards Sasuke and held Sasuke by his head. Then Sasuke started to feel his chakra get sucked out of him, so he decided to free himself and he kicked Yoroi in the solar plexus and freed himself. He jumped back and started to do hand signs and did a fire style fireball jutsu, but Yoroi dodged it by jumping away, but when he saw where Sasuke was he saw that he was not there. He turned around but couldn't dodge the kick that sent him flying, and Sasuke appeared behind and did a axe kick which sent Yoroi to the ground with a boom. Hayate came from where he was standing and declared Sasuke the after checking if Yoroi could fight or not. Sasuke had a cocky smirk on his face and he went up the stairs and got to his team. Itachi nodded to him in a form acknowledgement and he turned his head towards Naruto. Usually he didn't want anyone else's compliment, but he came to respect Naruto as his sensei, as he always encouraged him. Naruto smiled and patted Sasuke on his head and said, "Good job there, Sasuke, but you should not let this win to your head." Sasuke nodded and smiled. The matches went and Naruto and Itachi could see some potential in some, like in Temari, who was from Suna and she have decent control of her wind element and she had used it very efficiently against Tenten as she deflected all the weapons that was directed at her, and after that she defeated Tenten, but it was a little brutal. They saw the brother of her Kankuro who used puppets to defeat his opponent. Then there was the matches of the Hyugas, and Neji had a grudge against the Hyuga heiress and did give her a lot of injuries, but Hinata never gave up, and this got Neji very angry and started to go for the final strike to end Hinata's life, but all the Jonin stopped him. Hinata fall down and spitted blood out and passed out. Neji was pretty furious at this and was about to leave, but a shout from Menma stopped him and he turned his towards Menma, who came down and touched Hinata's blood from the floor and did a blood oath that in finals he would kick Neji's ass and show him that there is no such thing as fate. Neji didn't even answer, he just left. Then there was the match against Sakura and Naruto, which Naruto win easily. Then the match of Menma against Dosu, and Menma had some problems with the sound waves that Dosu sent, but Menma was able to dodge it by replacing himself with a shadow clone and came from the side and electrocuted Dosu and was declared the winner. There was match against Shinoi and Zaki, and Shinoi sucked the chakra from Zaku and he eventually passed out. The match against Shikamaru against Kin, and Shikamaru win by letting Kin hit the wall behind her. Then there was a match against Kiba and Ino which resulted in a double knockout as Ino entered Kiba's mind, but Akamaru bit Ino and she passed out as well as Kiba. There was the match against Sai and a ranged shinobi, and Sai knocked him out fast. Then there was the match that shocked everyone. This match was between Gaara and Lee, which was at least mid-Chunin to low Jonin level. Lee, when released his weights, everyone was shocked at how even he could move, but Lee took a step further and used 8 inner gates and started to beat on Gaara and did whatever lotus, I don't remember the name of which lotus it was, so imagine the lotus you want, and send Gaara back to the ground with a boom. The whole arena shook at that, and every genin was stunned at that and more shocked when Gaara still defeated Lee by crushing his leg and spine, and he was going to kill Lee, but Guy stopped it and admitted his student's defeat and left with Lee towards the hospital. Then Minato announced that there was going to be a 1-month leave to make new moves other than the moves that they showed. Then matches began to be chosen. The first match is Menma versus Neji Hyuga. At this, Menma turned to Neji and gave him a grin, and he said, "Just you wait, I will beat your ass to the ground, and then you will understand the pain of Hinata and that fate is not set on a stone." Neji just stood there. He gave no reaction the tantrum Menma was throwing. Then he said, "You can try as much as you want, but fate is on my side, so you will lose." And Menma scowled at that. The second match was Shino versus Kankuro. Shino looked at Kankuro and sent his Kakachu to spy on his enemy, and Kankuro just snorted at Shino. The third match was between Shikamaru and Temari. Shikamaru sighed and said, "Why always I have to fight a girl, it is too troublesome." Then he yawned, and Temari thought, "It should be easy to beat that lazy ass." The fourth match would be Sai versus Naruto. Naruto gasped, but Sai didn't show any emotion except his fake smile. The fifth match would be Sasuke versus Gaara. At that, Gaara grinned manically and stared at Sasuke and said, "I will feed your blood to mother." Sasuke just scoffed at that. Then they were dismissed, and Naruto said while walking, "We will teach you all in this month, and remember, even if any of you lose, don't lose the hope and you could improve. So now we are going to the hospital to see how Hinata is doing." They nodded and went to the hospital and asked a nurse in which room Hinata Hyuga is, and she gave the room number, and they left. They entered the room and saw Shizune checking over Hinata, who was awake. Then the Menma, Naruto and Sasuke went to Hinata and asked how she is, while Sai was just standing and watching. Hinata said she was fine, and then she looked at Itachi and Naruto, and she had her head down, and she said, "Sorry sensei, I couldn't win. I was just a failure as my father said I was." Naruto sighed and said, "It is not your fault, Hinata, and you are not a failure. It is that you just are too kind and don't want to hurt your opponent, which is nice, but you should know that everyone would be kind as you and they would attack you, so you have to learn that it is okay to be kind, but not that kind to let your opponent hurt you." Hinata nodded and looked up at Itachi and Naruto, who were smiling at her. Then Itachi said, "You should heal in week, then we should start your training. Until then rest." Hinata nodded and the team left. Hinata smiled and her eyes closed, and she drifted to sleep while thinking, "I would win next time, Neji Nissen." The team got to the training ground 7 and Naruto started to say, "Okay, this week we will focus on physical training like sit-ups, pull-ups, squats, side-to-side jumpers, weightlifting, sparring, and obviously running around the ground." Naruto grinned manically, and the genins paled at that, and Itachi also had a shiver down his spine, and he looked at the genins with pity. They turned their head to Itachi and said, "Help us." And Itachi shook his head and said, "I can't have Naruto on my tail, and he might give me also this training, so sorry my cute little genins." The genins pouted and said, "Traitor." And Naruto saw, and 200 squats. "Start now." And immediately the genins started the workout set by their crazy sensei. The next week Hinata came out of the hospital and they started on their ninjutsu training. Sasuke learned fire style, fire dragon jutsu. He got a hard time shaping the fire in the shape of the dragon, and he also didn't know the exact amount of chakra to put in it, and he couldn't just copy the jutsu as his brother and Naruto-sensei could do the jutsu in less hand seals, and that was a problem for him, but eventually he got it down. Naruto also taught Sasuke the Chidori because Naruto thought it suited Sasuke, and Sasuke took 2 weeks to master it, and Naruto was proud of him. Menma learned lightning style. Lightning pulse, it sends a pulse to opponent's nervous system which paralyzes them temporarily. Menma had problems sending the lightning out of the body, but he got eventually by the help of shadow clones, as Naruto told them the secret of the shadow clones, and it helped him greatly. Then he taught him something special, but Menma had problem controlling it and couldn't use it properly. The same was with Naruto, as she also had problems mastering it. She learned lightning style. Lightning zone, in this jutsu she would cover the area with lightning and it would send zaps to the opponent, and it would depend on the user and how much they put in it to increase the power of the zap. She had problems maintaining the lightning zone as it would often disappear. Hinata learned water style, water prison. Hinata had problems maintaining the prison for a time and she would always let his dispate. After some days she could do this and she learned another jutsu which was water style, water bullet jutsu, and she learned it eventually. Sai learned wrath style, earth spikes, which Sai had problems shaping the earth but he could do it in a week worth of training. He also learned earth style, mud wall, and it didn't take that much time to learn as it easy compared to the earth style, earth spikes. The last week was spent by doing chakra control exercises to help with putting less chakra in the jutsus but have same power as when they have to use more chakra. They also started their elemental manipulation training by cutting, burning, soaking, crushing, and crinkling the leaf as it helped in their jutsus, and the last day was for me to rest, and they did by going to Ikaraku's and eating ramen. Then came the fated day, and that was the day of the final round of Chunin exams and the day invasion would be launched. The Anbus have already set the traps on the entrance of Konoha and they have secured the hospital, academy, and the rest of the important buildings. They have also built the bunkers to evacuate the civilians as fast as possible. They didn't send the civilians there immediately because it might alert the enemy that invasion was discovered. They also started the patrol around the village and found the camps set by the sound and sand to attack. Now all was left is that the final round starts. Every Jonin was standing on the ground of the Chunin exam stadium. There was Hayate standing there waiting for everyone to come and the crowd to calm down. They were shouting in joy and placing bet on who would win. Up in the Kage's booth there was Minato, who was the fourth Hokage, and there was the Kazekage who had his face covered, and Minato already knew that is Orochimaru. Orochimaru greeted Minato and he did the same. Then Orochimaru said, "I am interested on who will win. I would bet on my son Gaara against the Uchiha. What do you think about it, Hokage Dano?" Minato held the scoff on the statement of Orochimaru. He thought, "Orochimaru, you have to know that Raza don't like his son Gaara." But Minato said, "I believe Sasuke would win as he is trained by my two best Jonins. First is my son and second is Itachi Uchiha. So I am pretty sure that he would win." Minato saw that everyone was here, so he stood up and walked towards the edge and started, "Welcome everyone to the final stage of Chunin exams." Then everyone cheered and roared and Minato waited them to clam down, and after he said, "I will not take a lot of your time, so I will say one thing, and that is do your best." Then he walked back and took his seat. "You are pretty good in giving speeches, Hokage Dano," Orochimaru said, and Minato just waved it off. Hayate then said, "Now we are starting the first match of the Chunin exams, which is between Menma Uzumaki Namikaze versus Niji Hyuga. So please you both stay here and the rest of you go up to the fighter's booth." So both Menma and Niji stayed there and the rest went up. They were discussing who would win, and mostly everyone was saying that Niji would win as he was the prodigy of the Hyuga, but Team 7 was sure that Menma would win. "Are both ready?" Both Menma and Niji nodded, but Niji had a cocky smirk on his face. Hayate then raised his hand and said, "Hajime." Both the fighters were just standing there and Niji said, "Tap out now because fate is on my side and I'll win." Menma glared at him and said, "I'll beat your ass to show that fate is nothing and to get revenge for what you did to Hinata." Niji just scoffed at that and said, "Hinata got what she deserved. She was not quitting, so I had to show her that fate was on my side." Menma gritted his teeth at that. Then he rushed at Niji and Niji smirked. Then he threw a punch at Niji, but he dodged and he delivered Juken strike to Menma and he said, "Don't you know not to battle with a Hyuga in Taijutsu battle?" Now Menma smirked and said, "I didn't." Then he puffed and Niji was shocked. Then he activated Byakugan to see where Menma is and he found Menma in the tree, and then Menma sent shadow clones to attack Niji. Niji smirked and said, "This won't work on me." And he started destroying the shadow clones. Up in the fighter's booth, Naruto asked Naruto, "Oni-chan, what is Menma doing?" Naruto looked at her then at the fight and said, "I have given Menma a clue, but he have to figure out it." Naruto was confused but didn't ask any more questions and looked at the fight. To the fight. Menma keeps sending the shadow clones at Niji, but Niji said, "It is futile, you'll lose here as the fate is on my side." Then he destroyed other clone, but he didn't saw a clone coming from his blind spot and it hit him. Everyone gasped at that, but most of them thought it was a fluke. Niji destroyed the clone and thought, "Did he discovered my blind spot?" No, he is a fool and must have thought that it was fluke. Up at the tree received the memories of the shadow clone that hit Niji and he thought, "It is just what Naruto Oni-chan said that Hyugas have blind spot." Flashback. During Naruto training Menma on the special move he said, "Menma, remember this, it would be useful for you and you might win the match." Menma was interested, so he wanted to listen. No Hyuga can have 360-degree vision, they have a blind spot. But you have to find it, as I want you to experience gathering information on the enemy. Menma nodded and they continued their training. Flashback end. Menma then got down from the tree. Niji said, "Finally you have come down." Then Menma rushed at him and Niji said, "Doing a same mistake, and now you are also not sending a shadow clone, so you will lose now." Then he thrusted his hand forward. The time seemed to slow down for Menma and he dodged the hand from Niji and he thought, "Thank you Naruto Anakin, this is awesome." And Menma came behind Niji and the time became normal. Everyone was shocked at that and was wondering what have happened, as one moment they saw Menma was going to get hit and next moment he was standing behind Niji. Itachi turns towards Naruto, who was smirking, and he asks, "You teached him that, didn't you?" Naruto nodded at the question of Itachi and he said, "Menma wanted to learn something unique, so I thought why not teach both my brother and sister our Kikei Genkai the swift release." Itachi's sweat dropped at that, but he asked, "Can he utilize fully?" Naruto shook his head and said, "He still needs more training. He would puke after moving around for some time and he have less stamina." Itachi then whispered, but Naruto heard it, "Everyone don't have fox sealed in them." Naruto glared at Itachi and said, "Kurama already hates Uchiha, and he will not have any problem killing you." Itachi paled at that and kept his mouth shut, and inside Naruto, Kurama, "That's right, I will have no problem. I like my container." Naruto chuckled in his mind and said, "I am grateful Kurama to have you as well." Kurama grumbled and said, "Don't do this, I hate when you get sentimental." Naruto just smiled and watched Menma fight Niji. Menma was beating Niji and he was mocking Niji, and it was getting to Niji and he was doing sloppy moves. Menma made a shadow clone and it was coming from Niji's blind spot and he was doing hand signs. Then the clone shouted lightning style, lightning pulse. Niji didn't have any time to dodge as it and it hit Niji. Niji screamed for 5 seconds and then clone came from the ground and hit Niji on the chin and he dropped to the ground. He tried to move, but Menma said, "Don't try this, just doesn't let your nerves move, so stay still and listen." Niji stopped moving and listened to Menma. "You always say that fate is already set on the stone, but you are wrong. I was a failure because I was not powerful, but now you see that I can even beat you. That shows that fate is not set on stone. Hinata also told us about the branch family and she wanted to protect them, but what did you do to her? You beat her so badly and she always supported you." Niji didn't do anything. At that moment Hayate came down and he declared Menma the winner and everyone cheered for him. Then medics came and took Niji away to medical room, and while going he thought, "Maybe my fate is not set on a stone." At the Kage's booth. "You and your son both are good at giving speeches." Minato chuckled at that and Minato said, "Niji is not ready to be a Chunin as he don't have a mindset to be a Chunin." Orochimaru agreed but said, "Your son could be a Chunin as he first gathered information on his enemy and then attacked, and it was also planned." Minato agreed on that. Then the next match was between Shino and Kankuro, but Kankuro forfeited and the crowd booed at it. The next match was between Shikamaru and Temari. This went same as canon. The fourth match was between Sai and Naruko.